Alright, we'll hit the go live a couple minutes early here, make sure everything looks good. No particular reason to wait. Alright, we'll hit the go live a couple minutes. Everything sound good? Huh? Back with stream 2 of 3. The third stream, the top 4, will be on this Saturday. I would have posted on my YouTube already, but the thumbnail I have ready for it would spoil who wins today. So I will put up the link to that stream at the end of today's, so that spoilers can be avoided for as many people as possible. Got a couple minutes here. Depends on who wins, Dome. That's not a good way to be a fan. It's not a good way to pick your favorite faction. My favorite faction is Skavenos. We get Father Ram and Chosen One repping them, so they didn't need me. Quick recap of the left side. If you did not see a stream that was about a week ago, then that seems like it's on you. So slight spoilers if you show up to a part 2 stream and you get spoilers. But on the left-hand bracket, we had a lot of deep runs, but Kislev and Beastmen proved to be your top 2. Over there. Dome, I know, buddy. I know. Where's your cute face? It'll be there when I stream the replays. For now, you're just looking at a Photoshop file. So that as we get updates, I can move stuff around. And y'all can see it. Doing the right side today. Same as the left side, we'll get up to the top 2. And then we'll play the top 4 on Saturday. 2 best of 1s and a best of 3. But that'll all be live. This is the last of the replay streams. I'd like to live long enough to see Daniel win a faction war. That would be pretty funny. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All these games have been played already. Any rule breaks that you think you see or something should have been brought up to me by the players ahead of time, so we're not going to deal with them. As of now, we're not replaying any games or anything. And also, I have not seen any of these replays. I kind of remember some of who wins, but some of these games, let's see. My oldest replay here is from 9/4, September 4th. So I don't even remember who some of these players win. And I haven't seen any of these replays at all, so my reactions are going to be genuine. I've never seen these games before. Let's go. All right, first round is Ogre Kingdoms versus Vampire Coast. And one of the tough parts of this format is apparently the hot fixes CA is implementing. In our 2v2 stream we had one fucked up replay that was really funny to cast, but it didn't actually show the true victor. So we'll watch out for any weirdness today. Usually a fucked up replay is pretty easy to see in hindsight. Ogres versus Vampire Coast. Cyrus versus Rocket Road. Both of these factions have a second representative. Both of those representatives have already failed to get to top 4. So one of these 2 factions gets eliminated from the faction war entirely today. For Cyrus, as I know him, you have a Tyrant and the Firebelly with Burning Head to clear out the Vampire Coast front line, a whole bunch of Ogre Bulls, 5 Noblar Trappers, more Ogre Bulls in the back line with dual weapons, and then 2 Man-Eaters with great weapons and 1 Lead Belcher. For Rocket and the Vampire Coast, we do have a front line of zombies with pole arms, 4 shotgun mobs, hand cannons, 4 regular handguns, 3 cannons, 2 Sirens, 2 Animated Hulks, and Celostra Deerafawn with her Crab Summon, her Ghost Summon, and then Tide Call. Very interesting VP composition. And these hand cannons are going to try and light up the Ogre Bulls, who sprinted right past... Oh my god! Sprinted right past the pole arms, but get fucked up on the other side. God damn, dude. Alright, first round of Ogres pushed off. Second round is here to play, though, and they should slap through these hand cannons pretty quickly. Celostra tried to summon but failed. I don't know if she canceled it or if that bug also returned with patch 4.0, but she tried to summon something, And it didn't take. It was a Denizens of the Deep. Because, see, it's down to 1 use. So, yeah, it counted. She just didn't get the summon at all. Rip. But the guns defend gun strategy so far really peppering down the Ogre lines. On the southern flank here, they failed to get through at all. And on the northern flank, we've already had 4 units rout and more are on their way. Damn, dude. Bounce power's already showing its age, and I would agree. And the damn Knights Errant gonna run out here with full armor piercing and terror and all that stuff. And this is, I say it every time, but with ranged factions, the bounce power is going to look good at the start, and it's just a measure of did you do enough damage quickly enough to win, or are you going to slowly get ground down? And this is looking like enough damage quickly enough to win scenario. The Tyrant gets a little lost in the sauce. He's trying to re-find these guys, and he gets shot the entire time he thinks about it. Cannon's also firing at him. And he's really alone in this effort. He has 2 man-eaters left on the battlefield, a fire belly that's pretty healthy. But aside from that, man, the Ogres have just taken such a beating that no one's going to return to this fight confidently. They are a low leadership faction overall. Nice Burning Head does about half HP off this handgun mob, and it'll finish the hand cannons. But now Rotting Prometheans are here to surround the fire belly. The Ghost Knight Errant summon looks like they have faded. Nope, they're in the background, just killing off lead belchers, crowding things. And if these summons don't start to fade, army loss is going to hit the Ogres a little prematurely because the summons are boosting it up just a bit. Not a ton, but a bit. Tyrant's still taking damage from these cannons shooting at him. The damn Knights Errant still on the field as army loss is danger close. There, the damn Knights Errant disappear, giving the Ogres a little bit of breathing room, but not a ton. It was the bug, Rocket. All right, Rocket's the Coast player, and he's in the chat, so he can attest. I saw you try, buddy. I saw you try. Man-Eaters trying to attack these pole arms, but just getting mowed down. And that was a very strange Vampire Coast build. I don't disapprove. It's just not something I ever would have thought of. That was very strange. I mean, the hand cannons did work. I didn't expect it, but they did work. I love the handgun mobs. That part gets me full seal of approval. I fucking love those guys. Cannons did okay. They're better for, like, if he was going to get hard lead belcher or iron blaster kited or something. And then the pole arms did fine. Anime Hawks did fine. But really, the 4 hand cannons are the standout surprise to me. So, functioning as our blocker for the day, we'll get you back over to the Photoshop file. And we will advance Vampire Coast 1. Boop. Move on to game 2. Greenskins versus Slaanesh. Where? There we are. And as always, I did try to get a mix of replays, so that the side of the replay doesn't necessarily tell you who wins, but Coops, our resident Slaanesh expert, always playing him, always repping him, versus Aerodactyl 6, also known as Coolest Guy, who has quickly rose up the ranks in our Greenskin faction reps. And Coolest Guy crushed our 2v2 King of the Hill with Mars Pattern in their dreaded Slaanesh Greenskins combo until he had to go. So they didn't quite close out that event, but they were doing really well when he was piloting the Greenskins. So it looks like Slaanesh and Greenskins, after their success together, have had a bit of falling out. All right, for Slaanesh, we have Azazel up in the sky. Pavane of Slaanesh for that Rampage, Acquiescence, then Demon Blade, and Temptator for Azazel. 2 Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, the Eternal Entourage, Heartseeker Regiment of Renown, then Chosen and Chaos Warriors mixed throughout the front line, all with Hell Scourges. On the other side for the Green Beans, Orc Boarboy Biggins. Looks like 4 of them overall. Warzag with Here We Go and Fists of Gork, plus his net. Front line of Night Goblins. Ooh, Night Goblins. That's kind of spicy. Night Goblins, regular Goblins, Morgrim's Mangy Marauders, and the Death Creepers doing a little bit of skirmish, though one is about to rampage into the enemy, I think. There it is. Then we have 1 Stone Troll and 4 Squig Herds. Oh, the Rampage wore off before Morgrim's actually suicided. Will the Chosen 70 melee defense hold up against the Squig Herde's armor-piercing, anti-infantry, and Wurzag buffs? We'll find out, as Chaos Warriors are chewing through goblins with abandon. Good God. These guys are taking a ton of damage. Chaos Knight's actually just going to join in the front line spat for a bit. Heartseekers of Slaanesh also piling into these Stone Trolls. And Azazel's jumping in with Demon Blade popped to get their leadership even lower. I kind of wish he had Phantasmagoria for like a super leadership nuke. But he's having trouble landing right now. You can see the fact that he's wiggling. He isn't actually in melee combat. Anyway, Chaos Knight's getting attacked by Orc Boarboy Biggins and Squig Herds and shot by poisonous arrows. They are having a terrible time and getting completely massacred. Azazel could not land, so he couldn't actually help that fight. But Slaanesh is getting some of the more cowardly Greenskins to rout already. Northern flank is a bit of a disaster. Central fight is still in contention. Southern flank is going to the Greenskins. Now the super elite Slaanesh build, high stats, great stuff like that. There's no Hellstriders or anything to chase these guys off. So unless Coop's going to commit Azazel to doing it for the rest of the game, he might have a hard time keeping the Greenskins gone and also charging up his Slaanesh army passive. Oh, the Warlords boys were in a mass flank with their armor sundering. Hello, you sneaky little goblins. You got past me. So far, Azazel helps chase off some stuff, but it looks like he is coming back to the fight now. Chaos Knights, both sides, not really feeling it. Yeah, that Chaos Knight is straight up shattered, I think. Yeah, they're shattered, so they're gone. The other one is like 1/3 HP or lower. Other than that, the Slaanesh front line is holding incredibly well. The Hell Scourges with their increased melee defense are always going to be real winners. It's not like you need the armor piercing of other variants for Greenskins, so that's fine. Heartseekers battling it out against Orc Boarboy Biggins, but as Broken Tusk Mob join in, I imagine Heartseekers will have a bad time. Azazel thinks about joining them and then decides against it, going instead for Wurzag as the second Wa is popped. Ooh! And Chaos Knights of Slaanesh also joining in on the Wurzag fight. He throws Fist of Gork on himself just for the melee defense, probably. But 49 melee defense is not a lot. Orc Boarboy Biggins going to come back and help him out. That will be a lot more beneficial than Wurzag fighting on his own. Still, the Hellscourge front line holds and holds and holds. It is going absolutely nowhere. And Acquiescence is popped onto Wurzag, getting his melee defense down to 25. And once those Fists of Gork wear off, he's going to have 1 melee defense. But I don't think there's a lot to punish it. These Chaos Knights are getting massacred. Azazel needs to probably get out of here, and the balance of power is about dead even. Greenskins, Greenskins. Looks like that stuff that routed earlier already rallied and came back here and is about to rout again. Eternal Entourage still nearby, still alive, somehow have not. Demonic Instability crumbled. And wow, the Broken Tusk Mob actually terror out. That's a little shocking. Consider me shocked. Chaos Knights of Slaanesh on their last legs, same with the Eternal Entourage, and that'll leave Slaanesh without any mobility whatsoever. And Slaanesh relying on just their infantry is thematically strange, but not a new concept in Warhammer 3, unfortunately. Looks like a rampage is coming for Wurzag. Is he damaged enough to actually rampage? It looks like no, as in here we go, hits all these guys. Oh, he had both Night Goblin RORs in Vanguard. These are the AP Gloons. They have the little fanatics. Huh. That's thematic and fun. Eternal Entourage kill themselves off because their leadership got a little too low. Chaos Knights running away with barely any health, so I doubt there'll be any meaningful impact on this game. But man, these Chosen of Slaanesh are going nowhere. They don't give a single shit what's going on. That's funny. Oh boy. Look at them go. They've been surrounded all game. They don't give a single shit. Azazel continues to try to snipe Wurzag. Effigy to get is going to lock him down, and some Boarboy Biggins will hit him. But his terror should keep him safe. It'll rout these guys off swiftly. There they go, so they barely did anything to him. And Slaanesh continues to bump and grind, man. I don't know what's going to kill all these Chaos Warriors and Chosen at this point. Stone Trolls have decent AP, but their leadership's so bad Azazel can take care of them. The Spinning Loons can't spin anymore, even if they had any more charges, which they have 2, but their health is too low. And Orc Boarboy Biggins have armor piercing, but they're so terrible versus infantry. I think the Chosen might do it. The only thing that could maybe win the Greenskins the game is sniping out Azazel, which it looks like Azazel's going for Wurzag. So both sides laying it all on the line for the Lord Snipe. Azazel's trying to kill Wurzag. Wurzag and his Stone Trolls trying to kill Azazel. And without that Azazel leadership, maybe you could get some of the Chosen to start routing. I mean, one Chaos Warrior's already headed for the hills. Wurzag starts to terror out. He has plenty of support nearby. The Stone Trolls should be able to provide a wall between Azazel and Wurzag, and it looks like that is true. Azazel will have to go into the sky to chase down Wurzag. Slaanesh is pulling ahead, though, and I agree. I agree, man. There's 2 Chosen left that have plenty of HP to finish off the Greenskins. Azazel completes his snipe onto Wurzag. There's no hope now for the Dancing Prophet. Even if he gets away from this immediate interaction, there's nothing that can stop Azazel from just flying over his head and chasing him. Even the Stone Trolls are starting to rout. A third wall? Or maybe the second wall, and I just thought the last one was a second. Whatever. Another wall has popped. It does not matter. These Hell Scourges aren't moving an inch. They're routing all the Greenskins. Bounce power is tanking away from them. And Azazel will chase Wurzag off the field. Need Black Orcs and Wounds. Can we have something that shows player names in game? It would, sorry, but it would change too frequently to be worth it. All right. So the very narrow Slaanesh build did actually pull it out. Both the Chosen did fantastically. The Chaos Warriors also did really well, considering what you wanted out of them. Chaos Knights, not so great, but the Greenskins were well equipped to kill them off, and the Eternal Entourage did okay. But really, it was the infantry of Slaanesh that shone through. And I have had similar issues on Greenskins versus High Elves, which is why I started taking triple gold chevroned Orc Boys with Wurzag, just to get the stats required to get over the fucking front line of Slaanesh. I recently took that, I think, versus Lamb Sauce King. And I won it, but that game was a bit of bullshit. I had goblins fight the mirror. I had goblin archers fight the mirror guard, and they just wouldn't rout. They were taking 0 damage. I don't know what was up with that. That was some hot garbage on my part, so I should have lost some archers a lot faster than I did, so maybe the game would have been different. But just saying, I know the struggles of trying to get through a high melee defense front line. GG, well played. All right, Slaanesh advances to go fight the Vampire Coast. And what do I have next? Alfredino versus Platypus. Tzeentch versus Kislev. I'm sure this is a lot of people's right half match to watch. And it's happening in round 1. A lot of predictions had whoever wins this match going to like finals of the whole thing. So let's just get into it. Tzeentch Kislev. I have a fast forward button if I need it, though it looks like Platypus's build isn't as toxic as I thought it might be. I was thinking maybe 4 Auction Ambushers, Mama O, some Chariots, Kite. So for Tzeentch, we have the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch for some Lord Sniping, Kairos Reaver with Regrowth and Blue Fire for more Lord Sniping and Healing. The Screamers Arwar triple Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, which is a little surprising. Then a front line of Marauders and some Zongors. Huh. A little different build than I would have thought. Same with Kislev, different build than I would have thought. 4 Armored Kossars across the front line. 5, actually. 5 Armored Kossars, 3 Kossars with Spears, the Wolf Hearts, actually not Ambushers with the Net. Then we have Boris Ursus, a Patriarch, regular Warbears, and Ulrika in the forest. A very, very expensive hero core for Platy. Are those live? We will be doing the top 4 live. But managing 32 players, getting them all in the same place on the same day, and playing over around 40 games in one day would be a very long stream, so we do both sides replay-based. Akshina Ambushers do throw out their first pack trap onto the Shrieking Sky Rays right in front of these pistols and archers, getting good damage onto them. Not sure if Kairos wants to burn a regrowth just on the Shrieking Sky Rays, so that is kind of forcing Tzeentch to make an awkward decision. And it is a 900 gold unit, so you're not loving how much damage it's taking, right? It's not like, oh, whatever, it's just some chaff, it dies. Like, yeah, and Kairos is even going to throw a regrowth on it. Their leadership stabilizes, but that is a brutal use of magic for him. He didn't want to do that. Kairos lands on the Wolf Hearts, trying to get a little bit of damage out, and the Hero Core comes out of the woods to combat him. Chaos Knight's taking a big charge on these Armored Kossars, doing decent enough damage. Oracle of Eternity is popped for Kairos. And he nets... Ooh, very nice. He uses the Gaze of Fate to net the Warbear Riders to stop them from blocking him in, and he's just going to walk away. As the Patriarch and Boris get caught on their own troops, the Warbear Riders with their multiple models had a better shot of actually getting to Kairos, so he just tries to fuck off. Ooh, but he gets staggered. The Patriarch actually catches him for a second, but he opts out of it. He doesn't actually want to take that fight, I see. And Soul Grinder firing at him, though it actually hit Kairos for a brief second. And Boris catches Kairos, though for some reaon he's the only large... What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that? No. That is horseshit. That is horseshit. You don't get to just do that. You don't get to just do it. He knocks you over. That doesn't count. That doesn't fucking count towards the amount of time you haven't been attacked so you can fly, you cheating bitch. You can't go from knocked down where he literally can't hit you to flying immediately. Fuck you. God damn it. I hate this character. I hate this bullshit ass character. Fuck you, Kairos. Anyway, continuing on with the replay. No! Fuck you, Kairos. You're a dumb piece of shit. I hate you. I hate you. Why didn't they give you the blue scribe treatment? Why aren't you worth like 5,600 gold so you're impossible to take because your price point is just way too fucking high? Fuck you, you stupid piece of shit. I hate you. Goddamn asshole. Alright, whatever. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch charging around. There's some armored Cossars routing off, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Chaos Knights just went over and chased them off. Kairos is taking a lot of damage for standing right here and firing over. He did get a good blue fire onto the Patriarch, so that's fine, but if those Auction Ambushers had their second pack trap off cooldown, Kairos actually could have died. No jokes. Because he didn't have... I don't think he had Oracle of Eternity back up yet. It's a little risky there. A little risky. Not sure if it was still on cooldown or Platy just wasn't close enough to activate it or something, or if it was on cooldown, if Alfred, knew that. Sorry, Dome. Sorry. Anyway, Patriarch taking some Soul Grinder snipes. He's even trying to hide in the Warbears, and it just like slithered right through them and got to him. Armored Cossars were allowed to rally, a bit of a whoopsie there, because Alfredino could have chased them with the Chaos Knights, and that would have fulfilled the attacking rule for him, while he also gets a snipe off, but now he has to advance with his infantry and stuff. Patriarch routes off from the Soul Grinder. Soul Grinder has used a lot of his ammunition, but he has also taken out most of Kislev's healing. Kairos is sitting up there, currently still getting sniped by Ulrika. That'll at least keep his shields at bay. And the second pack trap is active onto these Chaos Knights, and Kislev is turning to punish it. Pendulum through them, plus all these archers, but a really good use of the Screaming Skyray's little ability thing. It knocks the Wolf Hearts around, so these armor-piercing missiles aren't in position to deal with the Chaos Knights. And the Blue Fire Snipe is now going for Ulrika, trying to tax her HP pool down. Chaos Knights' charge was completely cucked. And they now get into the fight with the Armored Cossars. Without that charge bonus, they're just not going to do any damage. Elsewhere, the frontline fight's going okay for Kislev. It's probably the best thing that's happened for them this entire game. The longer this goes, the more it benefits Tzeentch, since the Patriarch is off the field or dead. So they have no healing left, and Tzeentch is just waiting to get regrowths like that. Throwing a regrowth onto his Chaos Knights, rather even than Kairos. Feeling comfortable enough with his Lord's HP pool at half. He's not worried about him getting sniped. Marauders pressing through with Soul Grinders and Chaos Knights to help get rid of some of these armored Cossars. The Marauders and Zongors, just the tide of them. It's too hard for Kislev to hold back. Even though they're winning in isolated circumstances, there's just a lot of people pressing in on them. Pendulum goes through the Zongors and Chaos Knights doing almost no damage. Kairos is back in the sky with his Shrieking Sky Rays. Probably to throw another blue fire Ulrika's way if I had to guess why he got up in the sky. There it is. She takes big damage from the Soul Grinder and Kairos. And it's already looking a bit doomed. The Warbear's down to half HP. Boris is healthy, but Ulrika's half health. Everything else Kislev has is routing. And it was a little brutal. It was a bit of a display in why Tzeentch is S+ tier. I did get a comment on one of my recent videos of Tzeentch where it wasn't even Tzeentch, that's the funny part, is Warriors of Chaos using some Tzeentch units, like the Mutilith Vortex Beast. Warriors of Chaos lost, and there was a comment on it like, a lot of people saying Tzeentch is S+ tier, but I only ever see them lose. It's like, yeah, I don't want to watch Tzeentch do this shit. 55 replays in a row and post them on my channel, but when I see Tzeentch get their shit rammed in, I'll cast the hell out of that. So yeah, if you just watch my videos and you don't play the game much, then yeah, it looks like Tzeentch is a bad faction, but nah, dude. This shit's toxic as fuck. I hate Tzeentch. I honestly, though, since the patch, I will say, I feel more comfortable fighting Tzeentch than I do Grand Cathay. I have more Tzeentch counters than I have Cathay counters, but Tzeentch is still definitely S+ tier. Boris fighting in the end gets a really good Frostblade just before Army Losses hits him, but that will be the end of it. For Alfredino, Kairos got really good value, Soul Grinders got really good value, Chaos Knights did fine, Zongors did well, Marauders did well. GG. For Plati, as chat's mentioning, it's not like he got to play the game much. He just got kited around by Tzeentch forever, and he tried to counterfire, but Regrowth, Barrier, and Oracle Eternity are a hell of a drug. GG. GG. Tzeentch advances, and the chance for a Kislev mirror match in finals has gone away. Alright, what am I looking for next? Tomb Kings and Wood Elves. Boop. Imperator Mortis. Rising star in our new player tournaments. He is really good at all three undead factions. Love watching him play them. Versus Dr. Nerd Gash on Wood Elves. He picked Wood Elves, I believe, because in the qualifier he was playing and no one else did, so he just wanted to rep him. I don't know how much he played him. Having Kairos having Regrowth is stupid? It is stupid. Okay, we are already into it, so what the fuck? I brought you guys with me, right? Yes, I did. Great. We have 2 Glade Riders with spears rocketing through the forest, and then our front line of Eternal Guard with shields, triple Deepwood Scout, 1 Way Watcher, it's the Hawkeyes of Trakira, then a Wildwood Ranger, the Wardens of Sithril, 2 more Glade Riders in the back, Wild Hunters of Kurnos, and a High Caster with Apotheosis and Hand of Glory. For the Tomb Kings, we have Double Carrion watching these Glade Riders try and be sneaky, Ark in the Black, Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech, and then his summons, the usual kit for him. Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen mixed throughout, 2 Screaming Skull Catapults, 1 Nehekar Horseman, 2 Sneaky Snakes, and 2 Shop to Great Bows. One of the Sneaky Snakes and one of the Shop to Great Bows is the Regiment of Renown variant. Only one person wanted to play Wood Elves at all? Correct. Spellweaver of High, a little too far out for her own good, is taking some damage, though she did bring healing with Apotheosis, so she could back off and heal at any moment. Screaming Skull Catapults, ooh, and the Chosen of the Gods really punishing this currently clumped up formation, so the Wood Elves will have to spread out so that the artillery and those spread shot Ushapti don't get as much group value. Cavalry extending a bit far. These Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers are going to have to get in range of those catapults and shut them down. They're currently standing just outside of range of being able to return fire, so they do need to move up a little quicker. I think they were waiting for their Eternal Guard to get there, but oh, nasty volley from the Chosen of the Gods. Shreks the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. And before even seeing a moment of melee combat, those guys are 10% HP-ish. Carrion are now diving into Deepwood Scouts. This does 2 things. 1, it stops the Deepwood Scouts from shooting at the stuff they want to shoot at, but 2, it spots them. Because remember, these guys could be stalked. So the Carrion flying up was really nice. Spotted these guys out, gave the catapults and Ushapti clear targets to fire at. Now is the Wood Elves' time to try and make a comeback. Glade Riders have come out of the trees, but they stalled out a little bit right in front of Sparkle Stalkers, so they're going to take a ton of damage. First heal is out for the Hawkeyes of Trakira, that they are taking a lot of damage. Looks like they're going to counterfire at the Chosen of the Gods. That's a decent target for them. They have good armor-piercing shots, but the rest of these Deepwood Scouts do have to move up. They still haven't been able to fire very much, and if they are shooting, it's at the front line because they aren't in range of the back line yet. The cavalry is just not able to find their way into. The Glade Riders were caught out, so they didn't end up making it into the fight at all, and the other ones have just rammed into the front line, unable to get past there. Carrion still doggedly annoying the Deepwood Scouts and Way Watchers and such. The Tomb Kings are off to a very early lead, and I do agree. Wood Elf front line, slowly beating skeletons, but slowly is the point, is the key word, and is also what the skeletons wanted. Nekar Horseman going to get a downhill charge in the last Glade Rider. That hasn't routed yet. Don't have a whole lot of ways to quickly punch through. Yeah. Is it kind of freezing for anybody else? I haven't noticed anything, but do let me know if that continues. Spirit Leeches and not Chosen of the Gods. Basic Ushapti Fire has pushed off the Wood Elf Lord, and it will be a surrender for them. So a couple micro mistakes on the flanks with the Glade Riders with Spears just chilling out and get shot, unfortunately for them. Other than that, a reason why we don't see Deepwood Scouts very much. It's so hard to skirmish with most factions. Most factions nowadays are either going to rush you or they're going to way outshoot you. That 3 Deepwood Scouts just can't provide any DPS that matters. Yeah, for Imperator Mortis, good advancement. Chosen of the Gods getting a ton of value. Scream Skull Catapults also did great. And that's about it. Hey. Still the most one-sided game in this entire bracket was me versus Persian Warrior. I got destroyed. Because I forgot some of the units Cathay could bring. And then I made some mistakes. So it was like disadvantaged on build, disadvantaged on play. That was a massacre. What do we got next? Gotrek Starbreaker versus Salinator, previously known as Sabrus Regnum. So we have Dwarves versus VC. Okay. I think this is a really hard matchup. I initially avoided it, but there was some round 1 stuff where people wanted to swap matchups, and the VC player said he would rather fight Dwarves than Empire. So I was like, all right. That's what you want. I think, personally, I think Empire is much more playable. But Salinator wanted none of that shit. And he told me, he said, you know what, you dumbass rat bitch. I'll show you what's what. And I was like, bruh, okay. I thought you could have whooped Blood Penguin's ass, but that's fine. It's whatever. You do what you want to do. Alright. Finished my tea. Let's do this. For the vampire counts, I have not actually seen a lot of them recently. You have some Fellbats, some Vargeist, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord with the Zombie Summon and Heal, 5 Zombos across the front line, 2 more Vargeist in the trees with more Fellbats. We have a Necromancer with a Stroking Rod, and that's about it. Triple Graveguard with great weapons, and triple Dogs. For Gotrek, Empire matchup is just as bad. You're a liar, sir! No. I refuse to believe it. Years ago, Salinator, it was an even matchup, and nothing has changed since years ago, so I refuse your logic and reasonings. For the Dwarven build, we have 5 Miners without blasting charges, 5 Thunderers, 4 Iron Drakes with Troll Armor Torpedoes, 1 Slayer, and then Thoric Ironbrow on his Anvil. That is a lot of Thunderers. Nice breath attack from Salinator. The Dwarves try to dodge, but it is no good. And an entire Thunderer unit is deleted. But the stalwart Dowie leadership holds! Just barely. That was -1 for so long. But it held. If that thing had routed, that would have been funny, because the dogs... A goes randomly! Let's go! Anyway, dogs should be able to catch her. Alright. Thunderer is still firing into zombies, though I'm sure Salinator's fine with that. And he does have his Graveguard coming out of the trees now. Oh, ow! Oh, ow! Oof. Okay. Iron Drakes get attacked by zombies, but the Blood Dragon Lord gets shot by like 1.5 million Thunderers. And a good pick here for the Vargeist. They are tearing through those Iron Drakes, but oh! Oh! Then the Iron Drakes fire out of it! Oh my god, they just died! No! Oh, the humanity! Anyway... Some Vargeist land over here. I don't know what they were even attacking, but it looks like it had a bad fucking time. Yeah, those miners got murdered. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord's trying to duck, dive, dip, and dodge, but Thunder is still tracking him. More Vargeist landing in, doing their best to kill him off, and the Graveguard with Great Weapons have now arrived. Another beautiful breath attack from the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord will take out another Thunderer, and dogs are getting into this back line. Now, the tricky part about fighting dwarves is, like, dogs can't kill very much stuff, but they can at least disrupt it, and that's about all that you can hope for. Blood Dragon Lord summons some zombies, takes a little bit of damage from Thoric, and then more damage from Thunderers as he does so, starts to fall back. His heal cap well within sight, but the Trollhammer torpedoes mess up the Vargeists. And is that 2 or all 3 of the Vargeists dead at this point, which is like most of his AP? Graveguard, some of them are chilling. They're starting to try to move in. To be fair, there were 5 Iron Drakes. Yeah, there were a lot of them. This is similar to how I handle vampire counts with Chaos Dwarves, though, is just mass amounts of range. Because similar, I mean, Chaos Dwarves, some of their ranged units are Dwarvens, then Direwolves can't do shit to them. But in the meta of Vargeist being strong, you just need to get more ranged units so they can't disrupt. Really nice breath attack. All 3 of his breath attacks were really good. A lot of damage onto the Iron Drakes. Balance of power is shifting beyond the point of no return. Necromancer has arrived at the fight. The Graveguard are here, and some of the dwarves are starting to rout. There's just no vampire count units left to follow up on it. Thunderer is still aiming at this guy. He casts some zombies, but Thoric damages him for doing so. The zombie's going to muck up the Thunderers yet again. But the dogs are failing poor Slaanesh, because he got him onto the back line. It's just a dwarven back line, so they don't do shit. Blood Dragon tries to dive in. Now he's juking. He's duck, dive, dipping, and dodging. That is going to be army losses. Kazook indeed. Little dwarves. Kazook indeed. It's a brutal business. He played really well with his Dragon Lord. The problem was just the same problem that vampire counts have been having since, like, they got their nerfs. Which, the nerfs were needed, but they've needed buffs in other places. Like, wow, everyone complains about super toxic vampire counts healing. Yeah, that's true. Alright, we nerfed it. Well, did you give them anything? No. Okay, they still suck. Blood Knights are underperforming. Vargulfs are underperforming. Terrorgeists are underperforming. Lords besides the Blood Dragon Lord are by and large underperforming. Kemlar's fine. Manfred's fine, but they're not great. The Blood Dragon Lord is super good, but that's it. Their heroes are pretty bad outside of the Necromancer. Vargeists are good, but there's so few good units on the roster that, like, everyone's like, all right, I gotta bring something for Vargeist, and then I'll be set. Black Knights are meh. Direwolves are terrible. Felbats are terrible. I don't know. I think vampire counts are a struggling faction right now. A lot of people disagree with me, but I feel like really good players that still play vampire counts beat some people, and then, like, you can think, oh, this faction's OP. Where I will say, Berserk played Khorne into me and slapped me so fucking hard that my first reaction was, wow, Khorne's broken. And, like, saying those words, I was like, nah, I think actually Berserk just outplayed the shit out of me. I don't know. Because watching people like Slaanesh play with the Dragon Lord, I'm like, oh, that's what Dragon Lords can do. That's cool. Because when I play with the Dragon Lord, I forget them for 5 seconds. They immediately fucking die. And I'm like, I don't know, this faction sucks ass. It's also why I'm a bad Dark Elf player, because I'm not very good with dragons. You played bad with them? It happens, dude. It happens. I still thought your Blood Dragon Lord play was really good. You were dodging quite nicely. All your breath attacks were on point. Your zombie summons were right where they needed to be. They underperformed. Yeah, I was speaking more in general. I had the start of a stream. I think I was fighting Galraj, and we had Chaos Dwarves versus Vampire Counts, and it was similar-ish. Where it was like, okay, I have 12 ranged units, so wherever your Vargeists land, I'm going to just kill them. Vargeist underperforming? Not in general, just in this specific game, because Gotrek's build was like, hey, fuck Vargeists. I see your Vargeists over there. What if... Fuck them in particular. I don't know. I'll continue to be a Slaanesh fan. I think outside of Berserk, he's probably the second best Vampire Counts player active right now. Berserk's just kind of insane, though. And we recently got Slaanesh to be one of our VC coaches, which is very nice. All right, I'm looking for Chosen One Bjorn. Chosen One and Bjorn, Skaven's last hope to stay in this race. Demons of Chaos somehow got 2 reps, so it's also their last chance. Bye, Chosen One. Demons of Chaos versus Skavenos. Okay, let me figure this out. Hold on. Alright, so the Demons of Chaos mass vanguarded. Got it. When I see both armies show up right here, I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah, with Malice. Yeah, I just, you know, I'm bad with Dragon Lords, so it really limits how I play Dark Elves. Okay, so the Demons of Chaos are supposed to be right here. They're supposed to be right here. Bjorn, he kind of cheated. He kind of cheated a lot. He put in the hacks, and he deployed his army on the other side of the map. So, for the Demons of Chaos, we have a Pink Horror of Tzeentch, a Herald of Slaanesh, with Pavane of Slaanesh and Lash. Oh, interesting. You take a Slaanesh caster against Skaven, but you don't take Phantasmagoria. That's actually really interesting. Okay, I'm excited to see how that turns out. And then the rest of the Demons of Chaos are behind the Skaven already. Looks like we have 4 Screamers, 4 Fleshhounds, 5 Nurglings, and 2 Seekers. I didn't even know Seekers had Vanguard. Actually, yes, I did. I used Seeker Vanguard. No, I didn't use Seeker Vanguard. Someone did in a new player tournament. Or no, it was AC Maiden. It was AC Maiden in the finals of the NC tournament. So I should have remembered they have Vanguard, but I didn't. That's awesome. What up, Mad Cat? How you doing? All right. And then for the Skaven army, that is not prepared for what is about to happen to them. A bunch of Skaven slaves, clan rats, 4 rat ogres, Ick Claw and his Doom Wheel with Flensing Ruin, Howling Warp Gale, and Warp Lightning. We have 2 globes up front, 2 Warp Lightning cannons, including Ick and Zap Zap, and then 2 Eshin Triads. Let's go. How quickly does Skaven realize what's going on? Okay, seeing as how the demons have very few stocked units on their roster, I'm sure they figured it out pretty damn quick. And all the Warp Lightning cannons start to turn around. Rat Ogres are sprinting back here. Seekers collide into these Rat Ogres. Now, they don't have anti-large. A lot of their stats are in armor piercing, so the Rat Ogres will actually be fine. The Seekers charged the Rat Ogres, by the way. And the Rat Ogres are winning. Ah, Seekers. You gotta love them. You gotta love Seekers. And that was sarcasm. Fuck Seekers. I hope they die. There they start getting some good damage on the Rat Ogres. So it just took them a little bit, but still, damn. Skaven immediately pile onto the back line as this is just utter chaos. And the Poison Globes get left out as Screamers are going to catch them out with their armor piercing. They should make short work of those guys. And it's just complete chaos. Having to micro your entire army backwards at the drop of a hat. You're not ready for what's going on. Already, both globes are completely screwed. Rat Ogres are routing. Skaven slaves and clan rats are getting out of here. And the Warp Lightning cannons have had 0 time to accrue value of any kind whatsoever. Now, a pretty big combo here of a Brass Orb and Warp Lightning does decent damage as Ick Claw comes flying in, but the Skaven are now relying on their melee prowess to outgrind the Demons of Chaos because all their ranged components got completely fucked up by the deployment of Bjorn. And that is a risky proposition. That is a risky proposition for sure. Screamer still harassing the backline. Ick Zap Zap says it's firing, but I haven't seen it fire a single bullet, and now it says it's obstructed, which is even more silly. Skaven are routing in every direction. Clan Rat's barely holding next to Ickit. That's about it. Fleshhounds sneaking in through the sides as Screamers and everything pile on to Ickit Zap Zap, which has not fired a single shot. This guy also hasn't fired a single shot. Both their ammo is still at 22. And a brutal Vanguard that I didn't even know the Demons of Chaos could execute. A part of me thought Fleshhounds couldn't Vanguard. I thought that was something I used to be upset about, where it's like, why can't Fleshhounds Vanguard? But apparently they can, so maybe I'm just stupid. Ikit Claw is now going for a Lord Snipe, and actually gets decent damage out paired with his Eshin Triads. That's about all they can hope for. And they are getting some globes back in the distance. All hope is not yet lost. Demonic Instability Crumbling is a hell of a drug, ladies and gentlemen. Skaven are down on the balance of power, though. Fleshhounds running about, trying to keep stuff routing. It looks like Screamers are also going to be dedicated to that task. But both the Seekers not feeling so good. One is straight up crumbling. The other one is right behind it. And the Globe's trying to rally. Looks like they're going to go throw at Pink Horrors, who are currently harassing Rat Ogres. It hasn't fired a single shot. Dude, it still says it has max ammo. I don't know how it got those kills. They're the ones who can't, oh, Sabertusk can't Vanguard? That's probably it. Globe's throwing at the Pink Horrors. Doing fine. Other Skaven trying to hold on. Eshin Triads are proven to be the backbone of this army now. Seekers clinging to life next to Ikit. Their leadership fluctuates between negative and positive. One of these days, they'll just give up the goat and die. Meanwhile, in the background, Overcast Cleansing Ruin really taking its day out on the Herald of Slaanesh. There we go. The Seekers have died off. I don't know. The balance of power is a little more optimistic than I am on the Skaven's chances right now, but I've been wrong about demonic instability before. Ikit Claw's fighting it out. I thought I saw a brass orb around here. Oh, it's just coming in now. Okay, then that must have been just natural Ikit Claw musk. As brass orb does not do the most damage to Screamers, but it might do enough to get them to demonic crumble. More Clan Rats rallying. Skaven Slave Spears rallying. Where is this Warp Lightning Cannon's crew? Looks like they're up there. Okay, maybe if they can come back or something. Screamers should be able to be peeled off Ikit by these spears. Demonic Instability hits them. Boop. By random Screamers. Can Ikit rally his Skaven slaves? If he can get one more Cleansing Ruin onto the Herald of Slaanesh, he could actually turn the shit around. He's rallying some Skaven slaves and Clan Rats to his cause. Cheese hide when model behind terrain, so no shooty shoot? Skaven, all of a sudden tanking on the balance of power, but actually looking better. For me, they're looking better than they were like 10 seconds ago. Things are improving, but the balance of power is getting worse as Eshin Triads are going to catch out one of the healthier Fleshhounds. Because these two Fleshhounds, if they take some friendly fire for those Pink Horrors, they fight the Eshin Triads for a minute, they're going to demonic instability crumble like nobody's business. And Ikit has rallied a decent amount of support. The balance of power is like, nah, fuck it. When all the Skaven were routing, they had a chance, but now some of them have rallied, fuck them. And they just get army lost. Okay, whatever. Whatever, balance of power. Like, were they disfavored? Sure. Should they have been army lost? Honestly, maybe. But if that's the case, should they have been army lost 3 minutes ago when the situation was just mathematically worse for them? Yeah. Yeah, they should have. So if you're gonna army lost them, fucking get to it then. Don't wait until they have a hope and then say, nah. Nah, fuck you. Oh, God. The cheeky Vanguard build worked from Bjorn. Seekers did fine. Fleshhounds did pretty well overall. Screamers did well considering what they had to do. They didn't get great value. Nurglings also didn't get great value, but they were around. For Chosen One, Ikit did great. His Warp Lightning Cannons got a combined 150-ish value, which is about the tail of the tape there. Eshin Triads did fine. Rat Ogres struggled a bit. Globes struggled, but they got soloed out pretty hard. And Clan Rats tried. Clan Rats tried to carry this game, man. They were carrying the shit out of it. Look at that one. Look at him. Look at him go. 1,000 value on a fucking Clan Rat. He's doing his best. That's too funny. All right, Demons of Chaos, advance to go fight the Dwarves. You guys are on that. I need to find... Lizardmen and Bretonnia. What in God's name am I looking at here, son? Berserk versus Anti-Kaiju. Any off-meta spells used? Not so far. This is the faction war, my friend, Great Book of Grudges. This is going to be the try-hardest shit you've ever try-harded. Actually, Dr. Nerd did take Hand of Glory, and he did use it. So Wood Elves versus Tomb Kings had an off-meta spell so far. Alrighty, what do we have here? For the Bretonnians of Berserk. Oh, man, I was just singing his praises, and I actually forgot was playing Bretonnia. Companions of Quinel's, Questing Knight, Regiment of Renown, Hippogriff Knights, and that is it for Bretonnian Knights. Other than that, we have a bunch of peasant mobs and spearmen-at-arms, some men-at-arms with pole arms, 4 archers, a Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, King Lewin Laenker, and Henry Le Massif, who I have not seen paired with Lewin ever. I've only seen paired with, like, the Fey Enchantress or Rapunzel. Oh, there's also a Grail Relic. Is there 2? Nope, just 1. For the Lizards, we have 2 Pterodon Riders. We have 3 Temple Guard, 3 Saurus Spears. 1 of each of them is their Regiment of Renown variant. We have a Revivification Crystal bestowed on, an Arc of Sotex bestowed on, and Mazdamundi on his chair, with Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Net, and Apotheosis. Cool. It's a spear box versus a pretty widespread Bretonnia build. I mean, they're going to have 4 archers that are largely uncontested. With Hippogriff Knights in the sky and Lewin in the sky, they can keep the Pterodons at bay and use the archers on probably just the spears. You're not worried about the single entities. You have Hippogriffs, you have Lewin, and you have the Companions of Quinel. So yeah, all the archer ammunition is probably just going to go into random-ass spears. Probably. Oh, there's 3 Pterodons, not 2. Whoops. Same diff, though. Archers are going to fire at the Pterodon Riders, poisoning them, slowing them down a little bit so Lewin can catch up. Hippogriff Knights also have to get pulled forward. It looks like they're going on a kamikaze run to rock drop some of these archers, and they will succeed. Berserk tries to dodge it, but his peasants are slow to respond, and a really nice rock drop from those Pterodons. Though now their lives are forfeit. They ain't getting out of here alive. Those damn dinosaur men never stood a chance. Oh, shit! They somehow duck and weave through the front line. 77 speed versus the 90 of the Hippogriff, but the Hippogriffs are taking forever to catch them, and Lewin is just walking alongside them rather than doing damage. Oh my goodness! It's a heist! It's a heist! They get a Rev Crystal heal. That seems like a waste of your time, but okay. I disagree with the use of that. Probably would just want to heal up your Saurus, because they're going to win it for you. Pterodons, who gives a shit? They're just going to die. These ones is more of what I thought was going to happen. They tried to get back to the Peasant Bowmen, and then they just immediately get torn apart and terror routed. Goodbye, my friends. 1 banishment is out from Mazdamundi. Tickles some Peasant Bowmen for a bit, but they'll be okay. And I like what Berserk's doing here. He's trying to fire in at an angle, so whatever he's shooting at's shields aren't facing the right way. That's nice. More archers still firing in. Pterodons vibing. Vibing and surviving, and the first of many apotheoses is out. I'm going to play it at ×2 speed till something actually happens. Oh, wow. And as soon as I do that, something happens. Lewin dives onto the Temple Guard. Looks like he just wanted to get a free little bit of value. And Hippogriffs are trying to stop these Pterodons from doing anything. These are ones who still have a rock drop. There it is. Another nice rock drop onto the Peasant Bowman. Man, this guy's playing Metal Gear Solid with Lizardmen. He's just sneaking out and dropping bombs on these archers whenever he can. He only has 1 bomb left, and he's used a lot of healing on these Pterodons if I'm tracking them correctly. And that Pterodon is just dead as hell. Shield the old one's trying to save him. Hippogriffs back off. Okay, I guess they live. And they go after a different Pterodon and catch him out. That is not one with the drop rocks. So still this one with the drop rocks is alive, and he might want to just go fly and use that right now. Everybody's distracted. Big Ruination of Cities trying to catch multiple units stacked. It does, and does pretty good damage. Pretty good RNG on that. Hippogriff Knights just recommitting to the fight. They have a healing caster, so as long as they don't lose models, they're not worried about it, and they're sick of these Pterodons bullshit. They want to kill them, which I can understand. Did you do Wood Elves yet? Yes. Yes, we did. Archer's still firing in. This Pterodon's riding out, and it is the Rock Drop one. Go, Rock Drop Pterodon, go! The Hippogriff Knights push off the last of those guys. These hippos are netted, and they lost a model somewhere. So I think that's a win for the Lizards. And Pterodon's uncontested on the backline could use Rock Drop again, which it looks like they're going to. And then they could just go into melee and rout these peasants a couple times. Be annoying. Back to fast forwarding, as the Lizard box is advancing on the peasants. Tired of this shit. Hippos dive in. Suiciding for those Pterodon riders yet again, but it looks like a regrowth is there to heal them up a little bit, help them out. It's overcast, too. Ooh. But Net of Amnatoc trying to lock them down while they're still in Sora's Spears, which a couple are. Some of them are safely in the sky. I don't think they'll take that much damage, though. Like, it's not like they're in Temple Guard or anything. Another banishment from Mazda, still trying to kill off the archers. That could harm the box. And where are the companions of Quinel's? Oh, there they are. They're way over there. They're chilling. Full HP. They're fine. Henry is in. Henry is taking a lot of damage from Temple Guard. We're now getting healed up by an Apotheosis. And how's our Rev Crystal friend doing? How many charges have you used? Please tell me more than one. Oh, nice. 3. Wow. That's actually a good amount. Bretonnia has low-key been doing good damage this game. Rev Crystal also coming in for those Temple Guard. Loon dives on Pterodons once again, just trying to get rid of him. Apparently really hates those guys. And this Ark of Sotek is very alone. I wouldn't be shocked if the Pans and Quinels came over to kick this guy's ass, because he just popped his Sneaky Snakes, so there's not even any blob punishment left in him. Not sure if Berserk noticed that, though. But that could be a dead Ark of Sotek. Henry's taking a ton of damage as peasants file in. More archers still firing away. And another Net of Amnatoc from Mazdamundi. Mazdamundi's burning through Winds of Magic. It'll save his Ark of Sotek, though, so not a bad use of Net. Because now the hippos couldn't surround it, and the spears are here. Companions of Quinels were a little slow in the uptake. Another Ruination of Cities. That one is RNG dependent. He deployed that way in the back. Alright, he cancels it with Mazdamundi. That's fine. Used an Apotheosis on these Temple Guard, who are approaching their heal cap rapidly. Henry Le Massif is stuck in this fight. And he's actually been fucking up the Rev Crystal. I would not hate for what happened. I heard the whooshy whoosh, I didn't see it. Anyway, I would not hate for Lewin to dive in with his hippos and snipe out that Rev Crystal, which it looks like he's doing. Because it still has a bunch of charges of its healing, and Mazdamundi's been burning through Winds of Magic like nobody's business, so if you take out the Rev Crystal, the healing for the Lizardmen is actually going to fall off a fucking cliff. And he's doing it. Yeah, Rev Crystal's already routing. And the Lizardmen with no mobility in a build like this, just let it rout. Like, Lewin, back off, let it rout, and once it gets separated, then you chase it down with the Royal Hippogriff Knights and Lewin. Yeah, looks like that's what he's doing. Lewin's actually opting back into the fight with Mazdamundi, which is bold, considering how many Temple Guard are sitting right here, and Mazdamundi's been using Net like every 3 seconds this game. He uses it again on Lewin, so Lewin, you're stuck there. Like, that's your life now. Hope you don't die. Good luck, have fun. Temple Guard's still taking a lot of damage. Archers firing in faux free. The Royal Hippogriff Knights will catch that Bastildon now that he's routed off. Really like that from Berserk. Because if you overcommit and try and fight it while it's still in the thing, why are you letting it go, bro? Get it! Get it! Henry's gonna go deal with it, but it's back. It can cast healing. Berserk! Apotheosis onto the Ark of Sotek. Lewin is still surrounded, still fighting Mazda, even after the Net wore off. Companions of Quinels charge in. Henry is gonna 1v1 the Bastildon, but it might just kick his ass. He's not ITP, so he's gonna probably terror out. And now it's back. A rare whoopsie from our boy Berserk. Anyway, Lewin fight next to the Grail Leak. A lot of his knights are backing off. Now this is Bretonnia we're talking about. They have a ton of healing left in the tank. I haven't seen many Earthbloods or regrowths or anything. And what is that? Is that a net? That is another net onto the Companions of Quinels. Mazdamundi, you crazy. Rev Crystal has to book it back to here as quickly as possible. The fact that he's just chilling out in the middle of nowhere after saving himself from Henry is a bit of a mistake. Any of these two knights could go over and just whoop the shit out of him. Another Apotheosis for the Star Chamber Guardians. Does Mazdamundi have cooldown reduction or something? This dude's throwing out spells like every 4 seconds. How? How is this happening? Maybe it's just delusional. This game has gone on for 9 minutes, I suppose. He's lowing it. Yeah. Alright, Lewin's heal cap has appeared. But this isolated pocket of Saurus looks like it is getting routed off. So then the Bretonnians can chase that off the field. The Temple Guard that neared their heal cap also routed. And Henry is just vibing while this red crystal shoots him on the side. I'm wondering if there's some replay shenanigans with that one. Because if Henry never moves again, then that makes me think that something different happened in the original replay. Lewin is back in. Whoop. Shit. Okay. It all of a sudden ended. Yeah, so that replay got corrupted by something. Or Anti-Kaiju just got sick of grinding, but according to the balance of power in that version of the game, he had plenty of love left to give, so I don't know why he would suddenly surrender like that. Probably just a bugged replay. Well, in our bugged version, Saurus did great. Pterodon struggled a bit. The rest was fine. That was such a weird sudden end. But the result was correct. It said Bretonnia won, which I know to be true. Weird. You'd have to ask either of the players what actually happened, or if that was the result. Because in defense of that actually being the result, I could see if Kaiju was like, alright, I've lost too many Saurus, I've lost some Temple Guards, so I don't think Mazda on his seat and 2 Temple Guard can beat Lewin and these 2 knights with all the healing they have in their possession. They still have archers, they still have support. I'll just end it here. I could see that being the result. I also agree, even with that bugged-ass replay, I think Bretonnia was in a good spot. But I don't think he concedes that quickly, so that's why I suspect it's bugged. Well, shit. Alright. Last game of round 1. High Elves versus Empire. This is the only High Elf and the second Empire, but the only Empire remaining. So again, both these factions. Last legs. Trying to stay alive. Excuse me. Maybe he was out of Winds of Magic and Forfeit. Also maybe. Also, Phoenix King won the last faction war on Dark Elves. So, we have a returning champion trying to hold on to his seat. Versus the dreaded Empire. But Loki bringing no war wagons. I'm sure everyone's happy to see it. Alright, 2 Outriders regular. 2 Outriders with grenade launchers for the Empire. We have 1 Demigryph Knights with halberds. Another Light Wizard with just Net of Amnatok. You have Demigryph Knights and Karl Franz. You don't take a Life Caster. This is bold. Great Book of Grudges. If you're still out there, you might be like, Net of Amnatok is a meta spell. I would argue in this circumstance, it is not. I don't think it's a bad spell, but it's bold to bring no healing for Franz and Demigryphs. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have a mix of White Lines of Krace and Spearmen, 4 Archers, 5 Lothan Seaguard, 2 Illyrian Reavers, a Metal Caster with Plague of Rust, and then a Light Caster in the sky with Net of Amnatok as well. Okay, it's just net. It's just net all day. Everybody's netting. With this many Archers and a net on the side of the Empire, I am super concerned. On the side of the High Elves, sorry. I'm super concerned about these Outriders' ability to kite. Because if they get in range of the Archers, which they are right now, and these guys get netted, they're going to get one-shot by how many Archers there are. Even without the net, look at that damage. It's going to be really hard for them. And their front line loses too. 5 Swordsmen and 3 Cav can't beat all this infantry. This is looking like a really tough build for the Empire to deal with. Both their Outriders are already routing. Oof. The front lines are engaged. Franz dives down. If he pops his Reichland Runefang, he could actually give these guys enough buffs they can maybe get through the front line. They're massacring Illyrian Reavers. And some Empire Knights squeeze through the front line to get onto the Archers. First Plague of Rust is out on the Demigryph Knights with halberds, but no Archers are in position to shoot them just yet as some Lothan Sea Guards get tickling shots in. Outriders are here firing on the sides, but the grenade launchers will be sorely missed. They are rallying now, but man, those Archers did a number to them. Franz's Empire Knight secret agents have gotten to the back line, harassing these Archers. Frontline fight's still very contested, but it looks like the High Elves are going to win it, as they probably should versus Empire State troops. No one's upset about that. Overcast Net of Amnatok keeps both mages locked in place. There's nothing to punish it. Oh, it's Franz. Oh, it's Franz. Franz is going for a quick snipe. He has all of his buffs popped, but he gets netted next to the other lady who's netted. Now they're having a net fight. Can he get one more swing off? There it is. And she can opt out at any second. Her net's worn off, but I believe the Phoenix King has other shit going on as Franz continues to beat the paste out of the High Elf caster. Empire Knights getting pushed away. Outriders Grenade Launchers have returned. They're getting some shots onto the White Lions, but that northern area for the High Elves is just really, really good for them. Franz now dives onto the Metal Caster since the Eagle Lady got away. And Outriders are trying to punish her, but man, just archers. Archers, archers, archers for the High Elves. Killing off the Outriders, killing off the Outriders Grenade Launchers. Brutal. Brutal, brutal stuff. Chad Mage refuses to run from Franz. Yeah, the Metal Mage is not having a good time fighting Franz, but Plague of Rust Overcast onto him. 40 armor for Prince and Emperor Karl Franz. He's now getting torn apart by a whole bunch of archers. And this was just a pretty counter-build scenario. Skirmish Cav are weak to standing archers, and the High Elves brought like 9 or 10 standing archers. So your 4 skirmish units, which were a lot of your DPS, are completely countered. Like, they just can't play the game. And then after that, the High Elves had a better front line than you. So it was like, okay, can 3 Empire Knights and the Demigryph Knights kill all these archers? Well, half of them are spearmen, so good luck. No stuff. Not a lot of value to go around for the Empire. Outriders got murdered, so did state troops. That's GG. Loth and Seaguard OP. Loth and Seaguard OP, dude. No, they're not OP. They're strong, they're not OP. End of round 1. And who do we have left here? Vampire Coast, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, Tomb Kings, Dwarves, Demons of Chaos, Bretonnia, and High Elves. Demons of Chaos and Slaanesh making it through round 1 has to be a pleasant surprise for everybody involved. Has to be. If you're unhappy about it, then you're wrong. And Slaanesh VP is up next. Let's do it. Coops versus Rocket. Not as narrow of a build. Many more unit types are involved. We still have 2 Chosen, but they're sword variant. And then we have some Chaos Knights, some Furies, some Hellstriders. There's a lot going on here. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, alright, whatever, Coast. Coast has a spicy build, but we'll get to it. So we have 1 Chaos Knight, 1 Hellstrider with Hellscourges, 2 Chaos Furies of Slaanesh. We have the Sorcerer of Slaanesh on his Mortis Engine mount, with Hysterical Frenzy and Acquiescence for spells. Then we have Chaos Warriors, Chosen, Mirror Guard, Chosen, Chaos Warriors with Hellscourges, and Sigvald the Magnificent. On the side of the Vampire Coast, we have 5 Polearm mobs. We have 4 Crab mobs? 3 Crab mobs. We have 1 Deck Gunner, 2 Deck Gunners, sorry. Count Oculus up on his peg leg, and then 2 Bloated Corpses and the Salt Lord Scuttlers. 2 bloated corpses. 1 bloated corpse gets detonated on a Chaos Fury of Slaanesh, which will actually get them Demonic Instability Crumble. The other one, Demonic Instability Crumbles while just flying above. And that was actually a good use of a bloated corpse. I think Coops opted into it, because he didn't want it to hit any of these guys, but Furies technically cost more than a bloated corpse. So we take those, and Coast is off to a very early lead, as Slaanesh is now down 1,100 gold. Alright, a rampage on the Salt Lord Scuttlers. Do they go into melee when they rampage, or do they just hover awkwardly above? Hey, they actually go into melee, so it works correctly for once. And what happened to these Chosen while I wasn't looking? They got massacred! Oh my god! This is a terrible start for Slaanesh. Hellstriders diving in, but Deck Gunners shooting them and Crabs charging them on the sides could make this a little difficult. Chaos Knights are also peeled off, but the Chosen have taken a ton of damage. Thankfully, though, Salt Lord Scuttlers, if you're Slaanesh, thankfully. Salt Lord Scuttlers getting dragged to the ground, they're going to go away now. Hellstriders managed to hold on long enough to maybe get the deck gunners out of here. And the Bloated Corpse is running. The Bloated Corpse is trying to get in there. Chaos Knights get into the back line. They're at half HP from their trials and tribulations to get here. But the Bloated Corpse, he's just got to find somewhere to be. Bloated Corpse, run! Run! Where are you going? Oh, he was going for the Chosen. He wasn't going for the Mirror Guard, which was easy money. You could have taken the easy money, my boy. Instead, the Chaos Knights take him out. He still gets a bit of damage. He gets a bit of damage, but it wasn't as good as jumping onto that clustered up Mirror Guard. He wanted it all. He wanted the Chosen, and it was too much. He got too greedy. He dug too deep. All right. Count Noctilus and one deck gunner still online. The other deck gunner actually also slipping away, so Rocket really keeping his stuff online. And Noctilus, with his friends, routes off the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. This rotting Promethean gunnery mob, wandering a bit far from home, does need to come back as Lamper's Revenge are stuck fighting Sigvald. They do get Narcissism. They get locked in place. That is a summon. That is not a real infantry unit. So bounce power is looking pretty good for the coast right now. I am worried about their staying power, however. This is a lot of Chosen Chaos Warriors left, and they have very little infantry. They're relying heavily on their crabs and a bit of kiting. Deck gunners firing away at the Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. Chaos Knights are back, and Noctilus is trying to rout them again as the deck gunners desperately try and get away. Melcustom defying Miasma, whittling down those Chosen. But the Chaos Knights do hit those deck gunners, and these other ones are rampaged by Fascination, which Fascination also does damage to them. So the damage over time might be more important than the rampage. Just get them low enough if they start crumbling or something. Pistol Mob is summoned to shoot at these Chaos Knights in the back, and they'll do a bit of damage, but their heavy armor will keep them safe enough while they finish off the deck gunners. These other deck gunners, like I said, they never end up in melee, but the army ability just did enough damage to get them crumbling. And without those two ranged units, all of a sudden the bounce power should get a lot better for Slaanesh here. As 3 crabs go, the Lamper's Revenge needs an Invocation to Heck to bail them out. They're taking a lot of damage in this fight with Chosen and Sigvald and all this shit. Coast still up on the bounce power, though I'm getting a little more suspect the longer this goes on. Noctilus is burning through summons like nobody's business. 3 left of the regular one that costs Winds of Magic, 0 left of his bound item. Noctilus still firing away, doing his damnedest. A Wraithstorm and a Doombolt are coming in. We'll see which one's for which. Boom, 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 Wraithstorm, yay! Chaos Warriors with the Hellscourges almost routing. Lamper's Revenge, though, they're dead. They're doomed. Murdered, massacred, slaughtered. I don't know what in this can even kill Sigvald. Noctilus can't do it. Neither his ranged or his melee attacks in this form can do anything against Sigvald. I am liking him firing downhill into these Chosen Mirror Guard. That is great. That is excellent. You love to see it. Pistols trying to fire at the very tall Chaos Shrine. That is now surrounded by crabs. Somehow the crabs are obstructing this gunnery mob as if it isn't way taller than them, but that's okay. That's fine. Don't fire. Who cares? Nobody likes ranged units anyway. Chaos Warriors are starting to rout. Chosen down to 5 models, also getting close to routing. Noctilus is fake firing in the trees. I've seen 3 gun blasts without shells. There was one. But he was just up there living his best life. More Invocations and Heck trying to keep the crabs up and alive. Pistol Mob fades away, leaving Noctilus with 3 summons left. He dedicates some of his precious ammunition to fucking up those Chosen. Gets them down to 2 models. Their leadership holds. That's 2 more models than they need. You could go to hell. Another summon from Noctilus. It is a pistol summon once again. Chaos Sorcerer of Tzeentch, Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh is down to... That was a waste of a shot. You did not need to use a shot on 2 Chosen because you only hit one of them. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Fire at the blob. Stop doing that. There you go. That Chosen shatters. Noctilus is winding up a shot on this clustered Chaos Warrior pack. Boom! Beautiful damage. Beautiful damage. You love to see it. Another Wraithstorm is here for the Chaos Sorcerer Slaanesh. These pistols still trying to get a shot off over there. Slaanesh is all of a sudden in the lead on the bounce power, and I would tend to agree, as Siggy is chasing down Noctilus like he owns the place. The Promethean gunnery mobs, they just can't do it. They can't do it. They can't stop it. No one can stop it now. Pistol mob's getting really good damage on the Chaos Sorcerer. I doubt it really matters as Noctilus uses his last shot on a bunch of randoms. I think he just had Firewall on while he was walking, so it's not really his fault. But there's no hope. How can the coast hope to kill all of these armored infantry? Even their crabs can't do it. Pistols back. Probably going to last Samurai, this Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh, if they last long enough. Is that their tier 2? No, it's tier 1. They have time. Though they're trying to kite? Why? You should just be firing with the last of your ability. Why are you running away? Where are you going? Noctilus is Benny Hilling around, but the summon is just wasting their precious time on this earth by running away. I wonder if they have skirmish mode on or something, because this makes no sense to me why they would want to run away. If it was like a permanent unit, I would get it, but as a summon, I mean, they're fading away every second that they fuck around here. Noctilus still running away from Sigvald. And the pistol mob fades entirely. The crabs chase after the sorcerer. They might rout the sorcerer, but like, what are we accomplishing here? There's still so much left. Crabs fight it out. They rout the Mirror Guard probably. They'll rout the Chaos Sorcerer probably. And then Crumbling will take them. Noctilus will be forced to fight, and Sigvald will 1v1 his ass. Sigvald could kill everything left too. Coop's making his way through the faction war on the back of Chosen. Yeah. Noctilus finally has to fight and gets immediately destroyed by the Ravenous. Those are the two words I was thinking of. I combined rabid and ravenous to make rabid. You know what? Fuck it. They're rabid. The rabid horches. It's a disaster. I can't speak anymore. The rabid horches of Slaanesh drag down the Vampire Coast. We're just committing to it now. We don't give a shit. I liked Rocket's build initially. That was pretty funny. Salt Lord Scuttlers were a bit of a meme because they get instantly rampaged into the enemy. Deck Gunners did fine. Bloated Corpses did okay for like once in their lives. Crabs did really well. Noctilus on his peg leg did fine. GG. On the other side, Sigvald and his bro did well. One Chosen got completely murdered. I don't know what happened to that one at the start of the game. It lost all of its HP immediately. Chaos Warriors and Mirror Guard did fine. Furies got insta-killed. Hellstriders also got insta-killed, but Chosen and Sigvald carried. That's all you really need. Slaanesh advances again. But don't worry, it's a bad faction. I'm looking for Tomb Kings versus Tzeentch. What the fuck is this? Alright, this looks toxic. The Rabbit Forces of Slaanesh. Yeah. This looks toxic. Alright, for the Tomb Kings, you have DJ Kotep. Oh, I get that. You want to take DJ Kotep to drain, to set Tzeentch on cooldowns as much as possible and stop them from blue firing and stuff. We have a Casket of Souls, 2 Shopped Great Bows, one of which is the ROR, Chosen of the Gods. We have a Sporkle Stalker, 2 Sporkle Stalkers, one of which is the ROR, 2 Nekar Horsemen, whole bunch of Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen, and Subcarian. On the other side, for Tzeentch, we have the Screaming Sky Rays, the Doom Knight ROR, Kairos Fate Weaver, 3 Chosen of Tzeentch with Halberds, and 2 Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. A very small build. 401 models. That is 2 models away from being an illegal build. That's how small it is. Chosen the Gods and regular Ushapti look like they're teeing off in Screaming Sky Rays, getting pretty good damage out onto them. What is this? Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance, slowing down and damaging the Knights of Immolation. As they dive down, are the Sporkle Stalkers in range to do anything about this? Chosen of the Gods are under attack. Some chaff is coming back to help, but the Sporkle Stalkers are busy elsewhere. Looks like they're trying to surprise these Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. And they are going to get their shots in, but the Doom Knights will go uncontested. Ushapti probably need to fall back as an overcasted regrowth is already forced onto the Knights of Immolation from Kairos. And Kairos has dove in there. Now, if Kotep is spamming out spells, that'll limit Kairos' ability to use any of his shit. Scream Skyrays kill off one carrion while Stalkers shoot at them, but they're going to have a hard time doing that. These other Chaos Knights already in melee with Sparkle Stalkers. We're going to need some chaff to come out here and support, and the Sparkle Stalkers need to fall back to their chaff as a blob fight occurs in the middle. But the regrowth healing on the Knights of Immolation is healing them more than they're taking damage, and Nadkar Horsemen are already getting pushed down, down, down. Chosen have reached the front line. One of them is at half HP from the Casket of Souls attentions, and that is a sandstorm. It's coming out. Which direction does it go? Off in the middle of nowhere, pushing around some of the Tomb Kings. Some nice friendly fire, some great friendly fire. All right, Sandstorm. All right, Sandstorm. We get it. We get it. You're a dick. It kills an entire Skeleton Spear on its own. Eucyrion's Incantation of Vengeance once again cast the Knights of Immolation, really taxing their HP pools. But Sparkle Stalkers getting killed off by Chaos Knights is a big loss for the Tomb Kings. And Chosen the Gods are back. They're out there, they're firing, they're doing their best. Nekar Horsemen attacking the same Chosen that are getting attacked by a Casket of Souls is asking for friendly fire, unfortunately. And Kairos diving into Sparkle Stalkers is actually a bad idea for him. His 20 melee defense makes him extremely susceptible to their attacks. And they have anti-large, and they do magic damage. So that is brutal. Casket of Souls is friendly firing the shit out of his own side. I disapprove. I am angry. I am big, angry hummus boy. But Kairos is taking a lot of damage out here, and he's not getting much done. I'm a little concerned for him. Knights of Immolation are pushed off. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch have taken half HP. Scream Skyrays are almost dead. And these regular Ushabti Grippos are up on the high ground, firing down on the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch. Could this be a rare mistake from Kairos? And he throws a regrowth onto the Chaos Knights. He's not even trying to save himself. His Sparkle Stalkers get netted in place, but they can still fire at him. Takes a big volley. His leadership's at 6. If he demonic instability crumbles, he's fucked. But now he holds on for now. Ushabti on the high ground going to start firing at Kairos. Really want to take him out. Another cast of Eucyrion's Incantation of Vengeance. What does the Overcast even do for that spell? Hold on. I'm curious now. Greater effect on speed. Oh, that is not worth it at all, unfortunately. Overcasting it is not good. Rip. I thought it maybe did more damage. Ushabti now trying to fire at Chaos Knights rather than Kairos, which is fine. And Tomb King's holding on. They're performing admirably in this game. Casket of Souls is slowly getting whittled down by the Chosen of Tzeentch that are following it. Doom Knights are back. Chaos Knights catch out the Ushabti Greatbows on the high ground. But another Chaos Knight is actually routed off the Chosen of the Gods, and the Carrion are getting the Screaming Skyrays to collapse, freeing up the Chosen of the Gods, which really do a lot of work. And the Sparkle Stalkers in the distance kiting it out. Imperator Mortis is playing his ass off. Go Imperator Mortis, go. Casket of Souls is crumbling now. Not that it did that much in its lifetime. Maybe if Kotep spams out more spells, it'll heal up. Maybe. But maybe is doing a lot of work in that sense. Somehow the Screaming Skyrays are still alive. And yeah, the Casket just outright dies, which is a little brutal. Chosen the Gods trying to find a new home as the Summon Ushabti, which is about to destroy itself, did do good work. And without it, oof, the bounce power just tanks. And I have to agree, unfortunately. Regular Ushabti in the high ground is getting massacred. Chosen of the Gods are spending a lot of time running from stuff that they can't run from. These things are too fast. They're just going to catch you anyway. Might as well have stood your ground and fired. Another Eucyrion's Incantation of Vengeance onto the Doom Knights. Might finish them off. And Sparkle Stalkers in the distance do rout some Chosen of Tzeentch. But oof. Kairos regrowthed himself at some point because he is very, very healthy. And I do love that a non-life main caster can heal cap Doom Knights, heal Chaos Knights, heal himself, and almost heal cap more Chaos Knights. That's super cool. That's a very fun and interactive thing that I'm super glad that they gave to Tzeentch. I'm glad Tzeentch is better at doing life magic than any life mage in the whole game. It is very sweet. Anyway, Tier 3 Tzeentch army ability and the Gaze of Fate is going to lock Sparkle Stalkers in place so that they have to take that damage. And those Doom Knights are at 17 HP and not routing just yet. And that is the end of the Tomb Kings, most likely. Fuck you, Tzeentch. Fuck you, Kairos in particular, but also fuck you, Tzeentch. Doom Knights did fine. Chaos Knights did fine. Screaming Skyrays somehow stayed alive. Kairos is bullshit. And then Chosen of Tzeentch were fine. For Imperator Mortis, he played really well. A couple mistakes here and there, like Sepulchral Stalkers getting caught out without going back to their troops. Casket of Souls friendly firing some stuff. Shit happens. Shit happens. GG. Tzeentch advances to fight Slaanesh. Battle of the top versus the bottom. Alright, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this one. Dwarves versus Demons of Chaos. Those are Gold Chevron Bugman's Rangers, ladies and gentlemen. It's Kairos. It's okay. It's not okay. That dude should be way more expensive or have less in his book of tricks. Fuck Kairos. For the Dwarves, we have a mass Vanguard. So I'm going to pause it real quick. As we have 5 Miners of Blasting Charges, 5 Bugman's Rangers, all triple gold chevron, regular Rangers, Ulthar's Raiders, Ranger Great Open Regiment of Renown. And we have 3 basic Miners. And then Thoric Ironbrow, Double Thane. On the other side, for Demons of Chaos, we have 2 Fleshhounds, 2 Screamers, 4 Nurglings, triple Pink Horror, one of which is the Exalted Pink Horror ROR, and then we have the Sour Guts Pink Horror ROR. Herald of Nurgle on foot with Locus of Fecundity and Fleshy Abundance, and then double Soul Grinder of Nurgle. Why 9 Chevron Bugmans? I don't know. I just work here. The Vanguard play is afoot. Archers trying to punish these Pink Horrors before they can get too far out of range. That is a good chunk of damage. Does get the demonic instability. No, they rally to 3. 3 leadership. Now the Dwarves are chasing the Demons of Chaos while the Soul Grinders try and kite them. Soul Grinders pummeling Minus Blasting Charges actually get good shots in. Thoric Double Thane are beset on all sides by foes, but they have Rune of Wrath and Ruin, which I imagine will go right there in the middle of that big old blob. There it is. Bjorn tries to dodge it. It does still decent damage to them as they get poked. Dwarven forces continue to advance as the Soul Grinders fire in onto them. And Thoric Double Thane taking very little damage in response to this silliness. And the archers get ever closer. Kind of surprised the archers haven't stopped to fire at these screamers, but yeah, they're just gonna bug out. Soul Grinders still kiting away for now. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit as we're just watching Dwarves walk at Soul Grinders. Soul Grinders stay in range for just a little bit too long, then back off. Dwarves walking up towards these Fleshhounds. Bugman's Rangers take some damage, then they're going to heal up. Bugman's Rangers get in the range of Pink Horrors for a little bit. Sour Guts trying to kite them out. Doing a little bit of damage. Reminds me of old Wood Elves versus Dwarves. Soul Grinders running out of ammunition and have accomplished some. Not a lot. Big volley onto those Screamers from the Bugman's Rangers. Nurgling's taking some damage. Sour Guts now get in range. Trying to fire while they have shields up and then back off to get their shields elsewhere. But a Master Rune of Negation giving 40% damage resistance to those Bugman's Rangers. Damn. Soul Grinders, 2 ammo and 1 ammo left for them, respectively. Sourgod's still kiting around these miners. Bugmans get some shots onto Nurglings, kill them off, foe free. Looks like demons are now committing to the fight, as Bugman's Rangers are going to turn around and fire at them on the way in. As Swiss Pikeman is noting, they have like Longbeard levels of melee stats. So they shouldn't take too much damage in melee. As some streamers are already getting picked off. In the distance, Pink Horrors of Tzeentch are getting pretty darn low. Looks like the Dwarves have turned most of their attention inwards. Oof. Fleshhounds of Khorne marched by Ulthar, giving them 0 armor. And Thoric just friendly fired more than damaged those Fleshhounds with his little Rune of Wrath and Ruin, but whatever. One Screamer fades away. These Fleshhounds are close to fading away. These other Fleshhounds get deleted by blasting charges. And man, the Dwarves are just chucking these blasting charges around. They don't give a shit who they hit. 2 Fleshhounds gone. Screamers gone. There's 1 Screamer left. Some Nurglings also piling in here as miners with blasting charges are chucking into the Blazing Squealers now. Getting a bit of damage. Not a ton, but a bit. And after 9 long minutes, the melee has started. Ulthar's Raiders turning to fire at the Screamers of Tzeentch that are coming straight at them, though they're taking so long to reposition that they probably won't be able to get an actual shot off. First of Nurgle's healing, coming for the Soul Grinder, trying to heal it up while it fights next to Thoric Double Thane. Mostly dealing with Bugman's Rangers, though, who are now just turning and using guard mode to kill off the Screamers that are harassing the Ulthar's Raiders. Miners with blasting charges were unable to finish the Pink Horrors, who are continuing to fire. The Blazing Squealers are just chilling. Blazing Squealers also have really good melee stats, so they'll be fine. They don't care about basic-ass miners chasing them. I don't give a single shit. How's the rest of the advance going? Not ideal. All Fleshhounds, all Screamers are gone. Most Nurglings are gone. Out of the 4 that spawned, we have 1.5 left. Bugmans still holding on to life, regenerating up as they fire over at the Blazing Squealers, who are taking pretty good damage. Pink Horrors continuing to kite around. Bounce Power's still dead even. I think that's a little cap. As Thoric Double Thane look to finish off this Nurgling, Demonic Instability will take it from above half HP to straight up dead. Then this last Nurgling, getting friendly fired by its own Pink Horrors a little bit here and there, will also start Demonic Instability crumbling. And say goodbye to both sides' infantry. Well, chaff infantry, I suppose. Last of the Nurglings are dead. Pink Horrors hanging on to their leadership. Not their ammunition as much. Their ammunition is suffering a bit. Very nice header by Case Ermo. I don't know who that is. I assume you're doing soccer things. Pink Horrors blasting away at miners as Thoric Double Thane try and chase down a Soul Grinder. I will fast forward as these guys try and cycle charge around a little bit. Bugman shooting at them, getting pretty good damage onto one of the Soul Grinders as they continue to run back and forth, and now they're receiving healing. Miners catch up to the Blazing Squealers and the Sour Guts, who are just going to stand their ground, and I think they'll get a Locus of Fecundity from the Herald of Nurgle soon, but the Blazing Squealers taking a lot of damage as the Dwarves have reformed lines that are now firing over here. Yep, there's Locus of Fecundity. We all knew it was coming. Master Rune Negation keeping these miners nice and healthy. As healthy as miners can be, anyway. Bugman's Rangers starting to run out of ammunition. Some of them are. Fair, Rocket. Fair. We are at 13 minutes of the Dwarves and the Demons of Chaos running around. Another heal for the Soul Grinder of Nurgle is coming in, trying to heal cap him. Bugman's firing against these Pink Horrors, though, should get them to Demonic Instability crumble pretty soon. Demons of Chaos falling danger low on balance of power, and I would agree. As Thoric Double Thane now commits to fighting the Soul Grinders, or more aptly, the Soul Grinders finally decide to fight them. They have no chance of winning that fight in melee. All of the infantry for the Demons of Chaos is dead. Soul Grinders, one shot left between them, but the Herald of Nurgle is dead. And the Demons of Chaos are doomed. And I speak for everyone I say I'm glad that was a replay. That I could just fast forward through that shit, because that was bad. Thoric Double Thane did fine. Bugman's Rangers did very well. Ulthar's Raiders and the basic Rangers did not do that great. Miners of Blast Charges did fine. Regular Miners mostly got wrecked. For Bjorn, his Soul Grinders did amazing. His Lord did some supportive stuff. Some of his Pink Horrors did well. And then all of his Nurglings sucked and died. His Fleshhound sucked and died. Screamer sucked and died. Durfs are not fun right now. God damn you, Durfs. Not that that Demons of Chaos build was particularly fun either, but I mean, it's so hard to do anything. Oh. Dwarven Mass is like really, really high, and Chariot's not working correctly, and killing foot characters not working correctly just can make a lot of dwarf builds difficult to deal with. Oh, wait, I like the typical Chevron Bugmans. That's very creative. It's just like dwarf gameplay right now is not particularly engaging to watch, unfortunately. All right, the last of round 2. Berserk on Bretonnia versus Phoenix King on the High Elves. No double Soul Grinder Kite anywhere in sight. Instead, that is a staunch line of spears from the Phoenix King. Phoenix King, did you bring like almost the exact same build as you brought versus Empire? Archmage of Light with Net, and then a Plague of Rustcaster on the ground. Yeah, it's very similar. 5 Lothern Seaguard. 5 or 6 archers I thought I saw on the loading screen. Looks like 4. 2 of them have light armor. And then a bunch of spearmen and silver in guard, and that's the whole build. On the other side, for Bretonnia and Berserk, we have spearmen at arms and peasant mobs as their front line. A lot of them. Wow. Double Trebuchet, some Knights of the Realm. Looks like 2 Knights of the Realm, 2 Questing Knights, one of which is the Companions of Quenelles. Albrecht de Bordelot, a single Paladin, a Damsel of Life with Regrowth and Earthblood, and oh, a 3rd Trebuchet over here. I feel like this shit is doomed. I have 0 faith in Trebuchets. I feel like they do 0 damage. Trebs firing in at clustered up archers, angled in a way that overshooting should hit them even more. So this is the best situation for a Trebuchet possible, and they still missed 3 out of 4, which is just great. And archers are already teeing off onto the peasant front line, starting to fall back. A Paladin YOLO'd in here. I just noticed that. Are they going to net him? What's the plan? Huh. I wonder if they net Alberic in front of all these archers. They overcast Plague of Rust and net him. And then they turn 4, 5, 6, 7 archers in on him. No, get out of the way! You're just going to make him move around a bunch! Berserk tries to land him to save face and a Trident of Manon to do a little bit of damage, but Alberic's still taking a bunch. He's down to 1/3. He's down to 1/5. He's down to almost done. He's getting a regrowth to try and save him, but he does rout, and the Eaglecaster can chase him off the field. So the Bretonians just lost their lord. And Trebuchet is still firing in. Don't you worry. They're there. Don't you worry. They're helping out. Some archers are still firing at Alberic, but most of them have moved on to firing at the front line once again. Knights of the Realm are nearby, but Alberic can't land. He can't do anything. He is getting healed up by an overcast regrowth, but it doesn't matter as long as he's routing. He'll stay routing. Law and Seaguard getting charged by Knights of the Realm. And they absorb the charge like fucking champions. Knights of the Realm getting punished for charging them. And Alberic is almost off the map. Wow, the edge of the map is actually very far away. Anyway, he's going to get there as the High Elf Caster will chase him down. Knights of the Realm went from full health to almost dead. Now Companions of Quenelles are charging in on these Love and Seaguard, trying to get any damage out they can. Trebuchets are still firing in on the archers, and I have yet to notice their damage. Alberic's almost off the field. Paladin was in the back fighting Spearman for a bit. And archers continue to fire in on the Companions of Quenelles. Other Questing Knights are in here as well. And they're about to get Plague of Rust overcasted. Only 20 armor for them as 3 archers look at them hungrily. Berserk tries to push through. He gets through one rank of archers. He hits the second. He's about to get to the third, but the third has spears in it, and then there's a fourth also shooting at him. So that 20 armor is going to really hurt him in these spears and getting shot. Other Bretonnian Knights, Knights of the Realm fighting Spearmen, that's a losing battle, and Silvern Guard and other Silvern Guard are pushing up to finally shut down those trebuchets once and for all. Questing Knights got melted before our eyes. We still have the Companions of Quenelles running around, but I think Alberic is officially off the field, judging by how many Bretonnians I see routing right now. Yeah, the Eagle's back, so Alberic's off the field. Archers and spears walking ominously towards the cavalry. And the spearmen have reached the treb lines. It's all Ogre. At least I'm learning how to play High Elves. Ye. Spear spam. No, I actually do struggle to fight spear and archer spam, though. Lothern Seaguard especially. Unless you can outshoot them. Just going into melee is so brutal. Some factions can do it. Not a lot of the ones I play can go into melee with High Elves particularly well. Unless you have triple gold chef on Orc Boys, let's go. Grail Relique is now charging out at the archers. I wonder if they even bother shooting at it, or if they just let it do what it wants to, as 2 of the 3 trebs are offline. A 4th one is under threat as the Silvern Guard walk ominously forward, and they dare the Knights of the Realm or Questing Knights to cycle charge them. This is looking like it. Bretonnia trying to rely on healing. I'm kind of surprised the Eagle Caster hasn't dove on the Damsel of Life and just annoyed her. I suppose there are Knights of the Realm nearby. That makes sense. Might as well be patient. Man, look at how healthy these Silvern Guards still are. Like, what is going to deal with them? Archers still under attack by Trebs and Questing Knights in the background. And a regrowth hits the Companions of Quenelles. Meanwhile, Net of Amnatok catches these Questing Knights as Spearmen try and close in. And other archers from far-flung fields fire in. That was a lot of F noises that I just crushed. And a nasty Overcast takes like a quarter of the damsel's life. Good God. High Elves continue to run some stuff off the map. The third and final trebuchet is now attacked by Silvern Guards. They will be killed post-haste. And I will fast forward. Archers firing, spears spearing. Archers firing, spears spearing. Archers getting run down, spears also spearing. Archers firing, spears spearing. More Bretonnians get chased off the map. Archers firing, spears spearing. GG. Oof, 2 stinkers in a row. Brutal. Alright. Spears, Silvern Guard did fine. Law and Seaguard and Archers did well. GG's, well put together build. Just not particularly great to watch, unfortunately. The Knights struggled to do anything. The Trebs, none of them paid for themselves. That's that. That is the tale of that. Alright, bottom bracket. Dwarves versus High Elves. Top bracket, Slaanesh versus Kairos. It's just Kairos. That's all it is. That's all anybody cares about is Kairos. 2 games left. What do we even do? What do we even do? I don't want to do it. You can't make me. You can't make me. All right, let's keep going in order. Slaanesh versus Tzeentch. Can Coops pull off the upset of the century? Four Chaos Spawn, 5 Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges, Sigvald, and a Shadows Caster with a single Exalted Demonette. Can the worst faction in the game beat the best? I still think Slaanesh is a little better than Demons of Chaos. A little bit. The Shadows Caster is not on his giant shrine. He does have Melkoths and Pendulum. On the other side for Tzeentch, we have Kairos Fate Weaver, because of course we fucking do. A Marauder Horseman of Tzeentch, triple Chaos Knight of Tzeentch, 4 Blue Horrors, one of which is Chromatic Abominations, Shrieking Skyrays, and a Mutalith Vortex Beast. Let's see it. First Melkoth of the game is out onto the skirmish cav of Tzeentch. Just trying to whittle those guys down, so there's just nothing that can really stop them here. They didn't bring any of their own skirmish cav or anything like that. First blue fire of the game onto the Sorcerer of Shadows. Manages to dodge some of it, and the Shrieking Skyrays use their little ability to really damage Exalted Demonettes. Marauder Horsemen kiting around, doing some damage as Chaos Knights come charging in for the Hell Scourges. With the Mutal Vortex Beast, do a little bit of Mortis Engine shenanigans, but the Hell Scourges take very little damage on the charge. They're hanging in there for now. Chaos Spawn can countercharge, being a little spooky. But Tzeentch is using those barriers to the best of their ability, backing off before they take any real damage, as these Knights are trying to, but a little more locked up in the fray of it, while Blue Horrors just fire in on these Hell Scourges. Sigvald and the Shadows Caster moving up as best they can. The Mutal Vortex Beast is here grinding with 2 Chaos Spawn. Shield's not even under attack yet. Blue Horse trying to kite away. Marauder Horseman kiting around too. Kairos sitting there with charging up blue fires and other shit. The Mutalith just about to lose its shields as Spawn are ticking him down a little bit, but his draining of them has been much more brutal. And Blue Horrors firing in, and Skirmish Cav and all that stuff. Shrieking Skyray's thinking about getting involved somewhere. Slaanesh just wants a proper fight, a good scrap. These Chaos Warriors are actually thinking about routing. Wow, that's kind of surprising. Kairos has landed in Chaos Spawn. Thankfully, he's Kairos. He's going to take literally 0 damage, so... Whew, almost thought he would suffer consequences once. Mutalith Vortex Beast is slowly trying to get past some Chaos Spawn. As another Melkoth's onto the Chaos Knight of Tzeentch is doing good damage, and the infantry where they can get a fight are churning through Blue Horrors. So it's not all bad. Slaanesh is down in the balance of power, and I guess I would agree. Blue Horrors firing onto the Exalted Demonettes will get pretty good damage onto them if they can hit, but already Demonic Instability takes one of the Blue Horrors, takes another one too, so Tzeentch loses 2 units back to back. Just like that. 4 Slaanesh of their 4 spawn. 3 are almost dead. 1 is in the back. Don't know if he was forgotten or just left back there where Blue Horrors can't shoot him. Exalted Demonette's almost dead. Chaos Warrior's not feeling the love. Sigvald is chasing around the Mutalith Vortex Beast, but it is way faster than him, so it should be fine. Should be. Chaos Knights continue to charge around. Blue Horrors continue to try and kite, and Kairos will dive down wherever there isn't a bunch of Chaos Spawn. The seething resentment of Kairos is so poignant here. Dude, everybody fucking hates Kairos. Kairos is a piece of shit. Even Tzeentch players are like, yeah... Like, the most positive I've heard anybody be on Kairos is, he's not that toxic. And it's like, yeah, okay. Whatever. But even saying that toxic implies that he's still a little toxic. Fuck Kairos. Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh still chasing around the Chromatic Abominations. Elsewhere, other Blue Horrors are gonna die. Chaos Knight's still taking a lot of damage from these Chaos Spawn, actually. But a regrowth might just bail them out of all consequences! No? Where did that regrowth go? I saw a regrowth. Oh, it's onto these Chaos Knights. That's probably actually a bit of a whoopsie from Alfredino. He probably wanted to cast on these ones, but he misclicked because it's just a blob over here. Gaze of Fate trying to lower the Demonette's melee attack and stuff, but the Fascination Rampage on the Shriekers of Shrieking Skyrays might actually get them killed off. Mutalith Vortex Beast is back. Mortis Engineering everything down. These Chaos Knights are almost routing. How is their leadership so terrible right now? Wow. Okay, well, get going, I guess. Goodbye. Chaos Spawn are doing a lot of work. I haven't seen Chaos Spawn of Slaanesh in quite a while, but they're doing good. Melkoth's gonna follow up on these Chaos Knights. Damn. Hell Scourges chasing off the Chromatic Abominations, just being annoying, so good for them. That's fine. Shrieking Skyrays took a good amount of damage. There's still a good amount of Chaos Spawn, too, and Sigvald can be threatening in the late game if Kairos is about out of his magic. And even then, Blue Fire isn't the best against him. 2 Chaos Knights have paid their weight in blood. This one's heal cap is within sight. There's other Chaos Knights still pretty healthy. Marauder Horsemen are very healthy and a lot of ammunition left. Mutalith Vortex Beast could get healed a ton. It's still Mortis Engineering stuff. Yeah. All in all, things going a little better for Slaanesh than I think anybody could have expected. They're really forcing Kairos to heal cap his whole roster. Unfortunately, that's what he just wanted to do anyway, but we're doing what we can here. Another Melkoth, this one out onto the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, not waiting for either of those knights to come back into range. Looks like he just wants to punish these skirmishers while he can. And there's a regrowth for the Mutilith Vortex Beast, because it took some damage, so why would you allow that to happen? Just fucking heal it. Because reasons. I'm going to fast forward as Chaos Knights are trying to charge these Hell Scourges. Chromatic Abominations are kiting around. Chaos Knights actually do charge back in. A little ballsy from them as the Marauder Horsemen continue to skirmish it out. One Chaos Spawn does get caught out with Gaze of Fate, and another Melkoth taxing the Chaos Knights even further. Demonettes managed to get into the fight, doing really good damage to these Chaos Knights, but Alfredino's probably overextended for a little bit. Sigvald and his single Hell Scourge out in the middle of nowhere fighting some Chaos Knights and the Mutilith Vortex Beast. Chromatic Abominations have gotten far enough distance so that they can start shooting, and they'll be fine. Army losses is kind of close, even though these Knights have taken damage. Both their heal caps are in sight. It just doesn't matter. Kairos chucking out a tier 3 army ability just to be annoying. The Chaos Spawn will stand in it, tank it up like men. The Demonettes and the Chaos Warriors try and dodge. Poor Sigvald is just ignored. After his Chaos Warriors are routed, no one else cares about him, and Tzeentch just walks away. On the low ground, Chaos Knights pile back in to try and punish these Spawn and Chaos Warriors and all this stuff, but a Melkoth should be able to finish off one of the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch once and for all. And another regrowth! Yay, regrowth! Yay, healing! Yay, Tzeentch! Yay, Kairos! Wow, we love Kairos. He's so cool and fun and interactive. Alright. Final fight has been engaged. Mutilith Vortex Beast routes everything around here. It's just Mortis engineering them down. Army losses will hit. I started fast forwarding because I thought it was going to hit even earlier, but somehow Slaanesh held on for a second. And yeah, Kairos is fucking toxic. Kairos is a piece of shit. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. Fuck that guy. Goops tried. Shadowscaster did fine. Spawn did not a lot of damage value, but they did, like, good stuff in-game. Hell Scourges were around. Kairos, not a lot of value, but that's bullshit because he carried the whole game. Mutilith Vortex Beasts and Knights. Not a lot of value going around in this game, honestly. But, yeah. Blue Horrors got a good amount of value out. Screamers did fine. Fuck you, Kairos. Fuck you, Tzeentch. I hate all three of the DLC factions now. I hate fighting Kislev, hate fighting Grand Cathay, hate fighting Tzeentch. See, I made them all inappropriately toxic. Fuck them. Hopefully patch 4.1 fixes it. Hopefully. I mean, they gotta focus on bugs more than anything else, but we'll see. Last game. This is it. Dwarves versus High Elves. Who joins the top factions? We have Kislev, Beastmen, Tzeentch. Join stream immediately, Kairos dissing. Dude, I've been dissing Kairos all stream. Alright, what do we got? Last game, High Elves, Dwarves, the War of Vengeance, the War of the Beard, whatever you want to call it. 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, 4 Archers in light armor. Then we have 5 White Lions of Krace, the Rahagri's Pride, War Lions of Krace ROR, Imric up on his dragon, and a Life Caster with Regrowth and Earthblood. On the other side, for the Dwarves, we have Dwarf Warriors, Longbeards, Miners with Blasting Charges, Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons, more Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons, more Longbeards, more Miners with Blasting Charges, the Dragonback Slayers, Double Thane, and of course, Thoric Ironbrow up on his Anvil of Doom. Boo. Boo. I'm so sick of seeing this fucking guy, okay? He's in every goddamn game. Look at this piece of shit. The only guy more toxic than Kairos. Okay, alright. Oath of Vengeance. Minus 24 melee defense on a nearby target. Okay, whatever. High King, fucking busted. Enabled if in melee. Any ally within 50 meters of him, which is pretty short range, gets 8 whole melee attack and 15% more damage. Busted. And then he has fucking Great Book of Grudges. 8 more melee attack for everybody within 55 meters. Fucking busted. This is why you see Thoric Ironbrow all the fucking time. He's broken! You're broken and shitty! God, I hate Thoric. I hate Thoric. I hate Thoric. Here's a story about Thoric. I hate Thoric so much, I'm seeing Thoric even in places there isn't Thoric anymore. I look in the mirror, Thoric. I see a high elf build, Thoric. I'm playing Dark Souls with my kids, Thoric. Thoric's in all the enemies. All the enemies are Thoric, my character's Thoric. So, that's why I know this guy's Thoric right now. Because I can't even... I see everybody as Thoric, but it's just the only Dwarf Lord, so it is him. It's him. Isn't he talking about Thoric or Thorgrim? That is the joke. This is Thorgrim Grudgebearer, which is exciting to see. Jokes and memes and shitty things aside, I actually really am happy to see Thorgrim. I think he is bad. I think he does need a rework. But I appreciate the meme of Gotrek bringing him. Makes me happy. Alright, anyway. Archers firing in on the dwarves as they advance. An unholy tide of Dowie, though. This is so many troops. 1,600 Dowie, which for them is a lot. Rahagra's Pride joining Imrik with a nice little charge, and if they use their Lion's Roar while charging in, they might actually get these miners to rout just from how much damage they're taking. Especially because they're not ITP, so they'll tear out from Imrik. Dragonback Slayer's taking a lot of damage from the Bolt Throwers, and the Bolt Thrower crews are abandoning their lines and running away. Well, Imrik and his lions get a pick on the side, but the further they get driven away from these bolt throwers, the less chance they'll ever get to use them again. No dinner until they beat a boss. Yeah. And I beat the first 3 bosses before they even get to play, because they don't get any of that easy shit. At least Thoric is BS like the dwarves already are. If there was only one thing to get nerfed next patch, I would pick Kairos over Thoric for sure. Alright. Rahagra's Pride now charging into the Miners Blast and charges over here after they routed those ones and shattered them. And the High Elves continue to kite as best they can. Now both their Bolt Throwers are offline and they're getting close to the edge of the maps. They can't delay forever. But Imrik and his Lions getting some good picks on the backfield while they kite away. And the Archers getting good damage onto the Slayers. The Dwarves did not bring any counter archers of their own. They have no Quarrelers, no Rangers. It is pure axe and shield. Chasing them down. White Lions of Krace going to advance forward and get slapped in the face by Thanes. They're trying to ignore them, go after the Dwarf Warriors, and that will be a better fight for them. But it is 5 White Lions versus a metric shit ton of Dwarves. Pure Main Company and Imrik coming back here to fight, but the Dragonback Slayers, since they've been getting kited so much, they just want to take a fight somewhere at some time, and they will be super happy to die back here. Fighting Rahagra's Pride and Imrik is the best value they can ever hope to get. Thorgrim joins the front line, and his buffs will be meaningful. These Longbeards are up to 38 melee attack, and if he actually gets in melee, boom, it pops up to 46, which does get them above the White Lions of Krace, and then Oath of Vengeance, lowering their melee defense even more, so that is a nice little play there from the Dwarves. High Elves using the bodies and blood of their front line to buy themselves a little bit of space as Miners of Blasting Charges finally get to throw, and you can just feel the anger in those throws as they take out 2 archer units next to the edge of the map, and some Bolt Thrower crews are getting caught over there, so big attempts to get back in this game from the Dwarves. White Lions of Krace almost pushed off as archers continue to fire with the last of their strength. High Elves are up on the balance of power, and not that I disagree, but this game is far from over, as the Dwarves have taken a lot of casualties, but they're doing their best out here. They're doing their best. White Lion finally routs. Both those archers routing. One might rally before the edge of the map, while this other one, this Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower crew, gets caught right next to the edge of the map. These other Dwarves can walk away. They have other shit they need to be doing. War of the Beard right there? Exactly. Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards now chasing around these archers, just trying to keep them honest, make sure they can't keep firing. As Dragonback Slayers are dead, they're not really something we need to worry about. But Thoric Grim, double Thane, walking at the Pure Main Company. Annoying them. Those archers actually did go all the way off the field, and the Eagle Bolt Thrower crew also going to get going. Dwarf warriors catch the archers. How much damage can they get out before Phoenix King realizes this is happening and pulls them away? And the bolt thrower crew trying to sneak around. Their bolt throwers are all the way up here, though. I don't think they're getting up there the rest of this game. Pyramid Company still taking damage. Imric and his Lifecaster trying to help out the White Lions where they can. Though the White Lions aren't feeling so good. We have 3 that are heavily damaged and 1 that's healthy. Meanwhile, for the Dwarves, they took out that Eagle Claw crew on the northern side. And these Longbeards have now just committed to chasing off these White Lions of Christ, trying to stay in range just to keep them routing off the map, and then they could turn and pin in these archers. So really good play there from the Dwarves. I like that, especially when you don't have fast units. It does take a lot of patience and time to actually run things off the map. Dwarves taking damage elsewhere. Longbeards and Miners continuing to fight back. Thorgrim and his Thane buddies trying to hop back over there. And the Longbeards did it. They chased the White Lions off the map, and now they're going to pen in these archers. Really good series of events here for the Dwarves. Dwarf Warriors still trying to chase the Pyramid Company, but it looks like archers plus the Rahagra's Pride should be able to come back here and peel them off. Wait, will the new player land battles tomorrow be streamed? Yes. Yes, Nolan. Alright. That archer did get picked. Pushed off. Dwarf Warriors still have to Pyramid Company. Looks like the Rahagra's Pride fucked off. They didn't want anything to do with that. Oath of Vengeance is now popped onto these White Lions that are trying to heal up with Earthblood, but man, Longbeards plus Thorgrim double Thane on their ass is proving to be a hard time for anybody involved. Mighty Roar plus Lord of Dragons debuffing these Longbeards, and the Miners next to them are also not feeling so good. But another White Lion is pushed off. And this balance of power is heavily invested in a full health Imric and a full health Lifecaster. But remember, if it just gets to Imric and the Lifecaster, that won't really mean a lot. Dragon Lords in general just do not like to sit and fight in melee. So for the High Elves, we have 1 half-health White Lion of Krace. We have a full health for Rahagra's Pride, though they have received some healing. A beautiful breath attack from Imric. Took out a lot of models. And then we do have 1 Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower that's desperately trying to get back to their area. We have a single Archer that's healthy, but running low on ammo, and that's about it. And then you have Imric and Lifecaster, of course. For the Dwarves, we have a bunch of infantry. Really hard to assess how strong they still are, but Thoric Double Thane are very, very healthy, and they are here to rejoin this fight against Imric. More Dwarves rallying to the cause. That White Lion is getting walked off the map. The Dwarf Warriors managed to catch some archers. And these other Dwarf Warriors managed to catch the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower crew that was trying to get back to their mounts. Thorgrim Double Thane are fighting Imric, and with the Oath of Vengeance, he's down to 32 melee defense. They could actually get some decent shots onto him. Miners nearby taking a lot of damage from Imric, and Imric is going to just walk out. The Dwarves can't keep him here if they wanted to. Longbeards of Dwarf Warriors healthy in the distance, due to rejoin the High King. These other Dwarf Warriors are going to get routed off by Rahagra's Pride in no time at all. More Dwarves coming back to the fight. Dwarf Warriors losing in melee to Archers, because the Archers do have martial prowess, and the Dwarf Warriors are very, very haggard. But still, kind of funny. Kind of mildly ha-ha funny. And we'll fast forward for a little bit as we do a bit of regrouping. Archers have regrouped. They're firing over at more Dwarf Warriors' great weapons. Since they're unshielded, might as well get that damage out. Imric, how are you doing on breath attacks? 1 left. Okay. And the Dwarves are trying to catch up to that Bolt Thrower crew. They don't want it to get back online. And they also want to regroup. They know that this Archer is probably going to get all of its shots off, which is fine. And Imric and Rahagra's Pride land. They are probably going to tear out off both of these Dwarves right here, but Thoric's just trying to get in range. Maybe his leadership can rally them, but he mostly just wants to get another shot at Imric. Imric dives back in. Thorgrim Double Thane are here. They get some good pokes. But overall, the Elves are happy with that trade. Archers, 2 volleys left before it stops mattering that they are Archers. Balance of power is evening out a little bit as the Archers fire off their volleys. Thorgrim Double Thane, with just an uttered Oath of Vengeance, gets the Rahagra's Pride to fuck off for a second. High Elves still trying to chase anybody that gets separated from the Dwarven community. That's fair. The Dwarves are trying to reform on these bolt throwers so that they stop getting run around. Because the High Elves have to attack, which they were against those Dwarf Warriors. I'm not saying that they were breaking the rules, but it's like, okay, well, if we stay on the bolt throwers and those can't be used to attack us, then they have to come into melee. And in melee is where the Dwarves still have a shot. Because the High Elves do not have a lot left for melee. Fuck the balance of power, it doesn't matter. These White Lions aren't going to get much done. These Archers aren't going to get much done. These guys aren't going to get much done. That nasty breath attack onto the last healthy Longbeard will get a lot done. That was a really good breath attack. But Rahagra's Pride, no one left on the High Elf force wants to stay in melee combat with these Dwarves. Dwarves have formed up. High Elves moving in. Don't the Dwarves have to attack too? Yeah, but it's not a live game. I said at the start of the stream that, like, if there was a rule break, it had to be called in the past. I'm not really going to deal with it right now. Imric dives in onto the Thane, causing some disruption, but Oath of Vengeance is on him, trying to debuff him. Longbeards get to fight Rahagra's Pride and these White Lions. Big Earthblood to try and heal everybody up. Imric is in here, and he's now surrounded. 3v1 plus Longbeards hitting him, but he gets another big shot onto the Thanes. Rahagra's Pride throw out their big scary roar to try and get terror routes rolling. And the Terror Out might actually come in for this Thane. Thanes are not ITP, but Imric's taking a lot of damage in this 3v1. A lot of damage in this 3v1. A Regrowth Overcast knocks the mage on her ass, does no damage to her, though. And Imric's heal cap is within sight. He has to back off. And a Dragon Horn is popped to help out all of his guys, but Thorgrim and his Thanes immediately descend on the rest of the High Elves. They're like, listen, if your bitch-ass prince is going to leave, then we're just going to kick your balls. Over here, he said, as he didn't really know how to finish that sentence. A Thane gets dove on by Imric right away, though, who has almost heal capped. And one of the Thanes is routed, meaning he ain't coming back no matter what. High Elves are still in the fight. Dwarves not doing a lot of damage to them, though it is hard to tell what's not dealing damage and what is just getting healed through. Rahagra's Pride heal cap is within sight. White Lion's heal cap is within sight. Imric is heal capped, pretty much. He has like 50 more HP he can get. Yeah. Why am I being pinged? Is it about this? Alright. I'm back. Hey, Big Friday. Been a while. How you doing? Rahagra's Pride getting a rear charge in. Looks like the Dwarves are converging on them. They want to take out this mobility piece for the High Elves, while Imric is distracted with the Thane. This is their best chance to get some damage out. Rahagra's Pride taking big chunks, but another Earthblood from the High Elves. Healing up all these infantry, Rahagra's Pride, everything. Thorgrim's back in the fight. Fast forward a little bit. Ba-ba-bam. Imric rear charge onto the Thane, who has Oath of Dragons on him. He's really trying to get rid of Thorgrim's support while he still can. Archers, very, very low. Oath of Vengeance is now on the White Lions of Christ, try and get them lower. Rahagra's Pride are in here trying to chase off the Longbeards and Miners that have routed from the fight. Imric takes a big chunk off the Thane. Another Earthblood healing everybody up. Hey, Blake Stakes, how you doing? How you doing, how you doing? Dwarf Warriors routing. Longbeards only kept here by their ITP. Otherwise, they would have terror outed a while ago. But if Rahagra's Pride have another roar in them, which they already used, some of the Longbeards get going. Balance of power is shifting danger close to army losses, and I would tend to agree. As Imric's just going to charge in and take out the Thane. Now it is Thorgrim alone, and the High Elves bust out even more healing. Because if you haven't noticed... Because CA hasn't noticed, so it's okay if you haven't noticed. But have you noticed healing is a little strong? Have you noticed that healing is a little fucking strong? Have you? Have you gathered that kind of information? Because CA have not. Now, they might have directly asked me 5 patches ago about some balance stuff, and I might have given them a document that 5 patches ago said healing was a little strong. That might have happened. Maybe it didn't. Did they listen to me? Kinda. They nerfed Vampire Count's healing. That's the only healing they nerfed. All the rest of the healing's been fine. And then the Chaos Dwarves came out, and they were like, healing is fine. And then patch 3.1 came out, and they said, hey, guess what? Healing is fine. And then patch 4.0 came out, and they said, hey, guess what? More healing. More Mortis engines. Healing is fine. Healing's fine, everybody. We love healing. We love constantly healing. And Hazel's worried about me. And I'm worried about me, Hazel. Am I going to blow a goddamn blood vessel if I have to cast... one more time? X unit got heal capped. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to lose my fucking mind, dog. I know, buddy. I know. I'm upset too. I know. Come on. Oh, that's a big puppy. Oh. Oh. Who's so good. Look at this puppy. Look at this puppy. Oh. Look at this puppy. Look at her. Look at her. Yeah. Healing is strong, and for anybody who's concerned, I do think healing is too strong, but that was for comedic effect. We were just being silly. Ugh. We're just being silly. No one's that upset. Hazel's that upset because she got tangled in the wires. Did you get tangled in the wires? Did you get tangled in the wires? All right, bud. What time is it? 3? Okay. If it's not raining out, I'll walk you, okay? But the stream's going to end right now, so let me finish up. Okay, so let's get to the final thing, huh? Boom, back to the Photoshop final. After a pretty good game, honestly. High Elves advance. Phoenix King's still in it to defend his title, which he would have to beat Alfredino on Tzeentch, which both of those are a hard prospect, much less together. And now, the blocker. So, on Saturday, I'll get the notification for the stream up right after I finish this one. But Saturday, we will have Razel on Beastmen, Alfredino on Tzeentch, Segos on Kislev, and the Phoenix King on High Elves in the top 4. I hope you are there. You should get there ahead of time if you want to see the whole event live, because it will be a short one. It's 2 best of 1s and a best of 3, so 5 maximum games. Will not take very long, which is fine. It's nice, crisp, easy to schedule with people live. And hopefully you've enjoyed this faction war overall. It's not over yet, obviously, but I do intend to do another faction war probably with the next DLC patch. Probably not the balance patch, because you don't want to do faction wars all the time or it gets old. But yeah, if you want to fight for your faction, feel free to hop in our Discord and check out this tournament announcement. We usually do tryouts for the factions, so yeah. That's what I have for you today, everybody. Hopefully it was a good stream. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.